sat the bench?
I never sat on the bench until my first game of college. College. My first game of college.
I got moved up like 5th game of the season, freshman year, something like that.
So you never sit the bench till you get to college. You get to college, you finally sit the bench. Is it discouraging or it's like?
It was like
maybe
it was humbling. It was humbling. It was humbling.
College isn't even hard. College easy. I ain't gonna lie. I done guarded way harder receivers in high school. I done guarded some better receivers in high school than I guarded in college.
It'd be like that. It'd be some underdogs. It'd be some underdogs in college. Like, whoa, hey, he got something on him. Like,
but hold on, let's visit that, Chris. So you saying you've guarded tougher guys around Florida, basically. Then, X1, do you think that's a tribute to you? See, I always say we growing up in the football hotbed, right? And you guys get to face some of the top talent. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. When what's the kid name running back this went to Texas? Cedric Baxter, Leary. These guys go off to school, but you guys been seeing them. You've been seeing them since he's 8, 7. You see what I'm saying? And you've been chasing him, not necessarily, but you get what I'm saying. That's a privilege that we have down here. It's like iron sharpening iron. So I understand what you're saying. Somebody from Pennsylvania may not. First time they may see somebody is when they get here. You know what I'm saying? Like you did, Nicholas Harper. I know you did Nicholas Harper. Nicholas Harper. They showing him blowing people out on track, right?
Ran by everybody the other day,
But then you look at who's he racing, right? Then you see who he racing. It's like, wait a minute, who is he racing? So then now you just gotta test his time. Like, what time is he running? I think that's a privilege that we have in Florida. It's iron sharpening iron to where you can get the University of Miami and say, man, some of these dudes, when you made my high school team, you know what I'm saying? And some of these dudes in other colleges. But I think then it comes down to scheme, their scheme versus your scheme, and the team thing kind of going forward. But no, that's interesting you said that, man. I don't think we never heard nobody say that.
Yeah, I never heard anybody say that. High school, college is a lot easier than high school. I ain't never heard anybody say that. That's the first.
But coming out of high school, a lot of people, I ain't putting this on you, Chris. A lot of people said Chris, the first round. Coming out of high school, a lot of people really looked at Chris like that. Like, listen, man, I think he has a lot of potential.
I was one of those guys.
Right. It's just y'all went into college at a time where seniors were told to come back to school. Now you got a 25-year-old, 26-year-old in college. So y'all got a different level of patience. You know what I'm saying? Of waiting. But people was really, really high on you coming out of high school. How tall are you now, Chris?
6'1.5".
6'1.5". How much you weigh?
I weighed at 184.
You want to be 215 like Tariq?
You like 195.
You want to be like 195?
195.
Yeah. Do any of y'all ever think maybe I should play wide receiver? 92 in college? You ever cross your mind?
No, but I know I could play wide receiver for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I
can play receiver.
You think you can go over there and play?
But I feel like if I was to like go to the receiver coach and be like, just you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Try me at practice for a week. They'll like me at receiver.
it ain't fun when that safety coming down across your face. That's what it is.
You don't want
Like,
to
on my side time.
it's just something like, I don't know, man. It's something. I'm a 50-50 person. Like, I don't like running by people, like doing all that crazy shifting. I'm a jump ball type of dude. You know what I'm saying? 50-50 balls.
Man, Marquis, you play behind Kam and James. We thought they were probably going to be the best safety talent we had since
Merriweather?
Oh yeah, Maryland.
Probably the best talent we had since then. When they on the field, tell us about their IQ, because we seen the best.
In practice, I remember I got a few reps with James and Kam. I got a few reps with both of them. Like,
What's going on, man? Y'all know the military burial. I'm getting many in here. I forgot to correct. I know it's a military burial sound, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get many in here so he can explain it to us, man. I was in the funeral detail when I was in the military. I know when we started playing the military. I know we started playing that. It's all bad. Something going wrong. It's all bad. Something going wrong. It's been a while since I've been on here, man. Shout out to you, $4.99. Saving coming for you, X next. Shout out to Shad with the $4.99. Saving coming for you on X next. Taps, you taps. Heard that too many times. Scorpio, what's up? That's exactly what it is. Taps. They need somebody to cover the Tuscaloosa County football scene. If you're just getting here, you're just waking up, you're just getting out of cave, man. I'm gonna run this thing down. I'm gonna bring my boy Mehdi. I see Mehdi in the back. A couple people, more people gonna join us. I'll run this thing down real fast. Last year, Alabama took T-Rob. Yesterday, Alabama took Kevin Steele. T-Rob, Kevin Steele, neither one of them world beaters. Shout out to Big Vet becoming a member again. We have reason to believe that Charlie Strong will be headed to Alabama. Yesterday, I said, hey, man, this looks like chess warfare. Nick Saban trying to cripple Miami. All right, where did Miami won? They won 5 games. I see if they was going out to Georgia. Miami, who's Miami? So talking to my boy Rich today, Rich had a great point. It's as simple as he who controls Florida can possibly control college football. Yes, Strong Tooks. Rich had a great point. He who controls Florida can possibly control college football. If Miami can control Florida, okay, I put it back. Miami is the last school you want to control Florida. Now you have Florida State, but they don't seem to be built like Miami when it comes to this NIL thing in the future of college football. So it's either one or two things. Either Mario slapped Nick Saban wife on the behind when he was in Alabama, or Nick Saban really doesn't want Miami to get on his feet. He has said it in the past. If the right person get in the driver's seat in Miami, that could be a problem for college football. When Jalen Hurts wanted to transfer, 2 schools he couldn't go to, Maryland and Miami. Nick Saban ain't think about Miami and all that. Well, I follow facts. And I said it yesterday when he went after Steele. Now rumors have it Charlie Strong may be the next to lead Alabama. They maybe didn't get off the ground with the NIL like the University of Miami did, hit the ground running in this new in this new era of college football. But bro, chess is chess, war is war. You sit back and you figure out a way to strengthen your army while weakening others. Whatever Miami does now will show up 3 years, 5 years from now. It seems like every time we get our bike up, Nick Saban walk by and kick the kickstand and the bike fall again. Just Kevin Steele. It's just, I'm going to bring my boy Matty in here. Matty, you ready? Give me a thumbs up, bro. You ready to go? Just Kevin Steele. It's just his defense gave up. He ain't even like that. All of that trash, right? Kevin Steele was a huge part in recruiting these kids that just arrived on campus and some who haven't got there yet. Could you imagine going to a school or getting ready to go to a school and the guys that recruited you aren't there, Papo? It is a big deal, dog. Mario done came back to the crib, and them boys let the jets, them boys done let the rockets fly, and he's under attack, dog. Now, it ain't no other way around it. He gonna have to weather the storm while still, like my man Twan say, mixing concrete to lay foundation to get this thing back on its feet. Seven 786-459-499 if you want to get down with IOD Squad. 786-459-499. We get to 70% likes. We'll open up the chat for everybody. Nothing but the football villains in here. I'm going to bring my boy Matty in here. And y'all see Nikki, tricky Nikki back there with the 6'9". Matty.
Yes, sir.
We just had a powwow football villain meeting yesterday with me, you, Kyle, and the boys. And we went on and on about Steele and was his defense good and everything. And the next day he comes to get Charlie Strong, the one guy who I was just saying, they're not going to make Charlie Strong the defensive coordinator even. He's not the same Charlie Strong anymore. So both of the guys that you all guys said over the hill in the comment section, and they're over the hill. This game is past them. It's going to start their season next year in the top 5.
Glad you're seeing things my way. Yeah, I talked about this a lot yesterday in our conversations. People are saying things like, "Yeah, why would we take Steele?" It's like, you understand something. Nick and his program and his tenure at Alabama has built a reputation of being almost a rehabilitation, being a space for disheveled and beat down coaches to go get their name back, right? It was just on towards the end of last season on College Football Game Day, we had Loxley, Kiffin, Sarkisian, all these guys who are now running major Power 5 programs, getting on there and saying, "Hey, yeah, Nick Saban had me as an analyst this year. for 2 seasons. And now I'm back in, I'm back D1, you know what I'm saying, running my own program because that's reputation. But the problem with that is the turnover rate is outrageous. So yeah, this is business. And just like you said and started this conversation off with, for one, he has old people's paradise, right? People want to come down there and at the, I don't know if I could talk about this now, but you told me that not Street, but Steele has told you, like, this is it for me. Like, after this, I'm going to go fishing on the beach. Like, I'm not going to keep dealing with, like, they in their 60s, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Nick is offering something that for the first time he's never really had as a head coach, and that is stability. He's not looking to have a bunch of turnover anymore because he's realizing that works for younger guys like Kirby Smart, right? I lose a coordinator, assistant coordinator, he goes to Oregon and becomes, a head coach. Like Kirby Smart has the leverage to kind of deal with that, and he's still young enough to kind of appease the other coaches. Nick Saban does not,
right?
And he won't. And so now with this last iteration, losing an offensive and defensive coordinator, and now kind of feeling like, man, am I maybe losing footing against Kirby, my old protege? What am I now facing? He realizes like I can't keep having these guys with their foot halfway out the door. I got to have guys in this program I know don't really have plans of going anywhere. So what do? I'm gonna go peek down in old Miami, which I never liked anyway. And I'm gonna go grab 2 guys who are talented minds that's been there for a long time, or in the game for a long time, not in Miami, but in the game for a long time. And I'm gonna offer them because I need stability around me. Yeah, Alabama about to look like, a senior citizen home on that sideline, but it might end up working end up working in their benefit. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. Yeah, all them young spry coaches and what's called that. I think that's about to stop. And I think Mario's plan when he initially did this was, to kind of develop because I wanted guys that know the game well, that are veterans, seasoned in this. You can see we're always talking about, oh, let's hire this guy, let's hire that guy, but in reality, Mario is very big on you got to do your time. Like, do your time in the game, do your time in the system, work your way up the ranks, and then we'll consider hiring you. Like, prove something to me. He's already a proven recruiting disciple, a disciple of Saban. He's been through it. He's built a program up from scratch. And he looks at a lot of people in the same way. And so when you hear all these young up-and-comers who are trying to get their shot, Mario don't got to be obligated for that. And it's clear from his hire decisions that unless you were a guy like, Josh Gaddis, who had just came off winning the Royals Award, like, you got to have a resume a little bit. And we can see why that didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? So, Nick, I said this yesterday, and I will stay saying it. Nick is playing keep away. That is it. This is not about if I want to. This is about the SEC is trying to maintain a space of perceived dominance. Schools like USC and Miami getting NIL money threatens that. Therefore, they have to put in a stranglehold, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's an all-out assault, just like you said. It's we last year was a Chinese spy balloon, right? Let's see what happens. Let me see. Oh, they went 5-7. Still got the number 7 class in America. Yeah, hey, start sending nukes. Start sending the missiles. Send them. We got to start tearing that down because they understand now. Like they know. Yeah, Brandon Hook said Nick might be my. Yeah, he should be. He felt like he probably got ousted from the NFL. Like, not saying he didn't deserve it. I ain't no Dolphins fan, but what Nick brought to the NFL was not Jimmy Johnson-esque. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, now it's an all-out assault, and the way you create an assault against a program is you take their stability. You tell a kid in December, yeah, I'm gonna be here. and then by January he gone, yeah, it's gonna cause some issues. You're a linebacker coach, and you're like, man, I'm about to get coached by Charlie Strong. I remember him away at Florida. Now you're talking about, oh, he going to Alabama now. Well, yeah, if you Popo, if you Bissaint, if you a lot of these guys, you're like, God damn, like, what it is. Henry says conspiracy theory. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's very calculated. It's very calculated. And there's a lot of options out there, but once
I
again,
believe so, bro.
the belief and the understanding is not necessarily it's the understanding that we want to rattle their stability. We don't want them having a stable we don't want Mar having a stable platform to stand on, because if we can create an image that coaches don't stay there, that guys that's analysts is never going to get on the field, if that hey, if you getting recruited by this guy don't mean you're gonna get coached by him. Well, yeah, that means I can just take concerted efforts to just keep telling people that recruit all you want, but I'm about to every time you try to build something up, I'm gonna tear it down. I've been saying this since the NIL started, that there's concerted effort to keep Miami out of the picture, because we know we got money we got to throw around, and they terrified of it. Miami just last year got P5 level money. Last year, this time last year, we was talking about the money we got. You think other schools didn't take notice of that crap?
See, the problem is sometimes we think when you're on a ground floor, right? You think surface. Then when you grow up, like if you like in the military, like you're private, you can only see what's on the ground. Then you become like a corporal, and you see it a little higher. You're looking down. Sergeants, master gun, the sergeant majors, those guys up there, they can look down and they see a different military. It's not necessarily probably, oh, Triple Miami, we have a straight shot to the national championship. No. Think deeper than that. Think deeper than that. SEC, Power Conference, wants to take over, yada, yada, yada. You can't take over, right? If a school that's not in the SEC, it's a goddamn problem.
Mm-hmm.
So think bigger than just wins and losses. Think that what if the SEC does do this power conference or whatever y'all talking about, starts to take over, and Miami becomes in the top college playoffs, got all this money they throwing around, great city, and it's not a part of the SEC. Because right now it's not part of the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
So with the NFL, we look at wins and losses, who's going to win the Super Bowl, yada, yada, yada. But the owners sit there and they're like, all right, man, it's Philly chance, man. Give them Jalen Hurts. Give them, it's Philly chance. They loading up. Let's see the Philly chance to win, because all they want to protect is the shield at the end of the day. Yeah. They want their city to win, but not as much as they want that shield to win and them to stay afloat. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. So think bigger than just Miami stopping Alabama from winning a national championship. Miami is a problem, dog, because it has the money, it has the resources now. It's in the city, and it's sitting in this place where all the kids in Florida, right? Y'all know once you get outside of Miami, you start going up north. Those kids look at the city like, oh, that's the city.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all from Miami, y'all think y'all. If you could make them a part of it, right? If you could be respectable again and you could make them a part of it, and you could own Florida, that is a problem for college football, period. A lot of Nick Saban success came from Florida. He has a Heisman Trophy winner from Florida. Some of the top wide receivers you've ever seen come through there came from Florida. Some of his top linemen owning Florida. Miami owning Florida either Florida State, but Florida State are set up different. You know what I'm saying? They're not for this new era of college football. Miami owning Florida is a problem for college football. And if you don't think what just happened, if Charlie Strong ends up at Bama, that's 2 in a row, 2 years in a row, 3 coaches. If now you don't want to listen to what Medi's saying or what I said yesterday, that I think is a little personal. I don't know what to tell you, dog.
It's Black History Month, right?
Uh-huh.
I'll make this correlation. Happy Black History Month for everybody here watching. Make sure you hit the like button, at least for Black History Month. We see, right, with the Black Panthers, what they were trying to build. The Black Panthers, contrary to what popular belief says, were trying to build a what they call a rainbow coalition of people, everybody, every race, every type, working with different organizations. You know, they all had a very hard stance against the wars that was going on at that time. Don't quote me, I don't know what they were, but it might have been Vietnam, maybe. But they had a very clear understanding, like, hey, and so the big organization, right, that quote unquote shield, used people to infiltrate and take people from inside to eventually take the leader down, right? It's almost the same thing we can see happening in Miami. We've heard it. I wish I could put a video if I had, what's called, like, we've heard Nick Saban say out of his mouth, nobody will outwork Mario. They have a 5-7 season. Team struggling. Whole bunch of many kids. From standing afar looking back, you're like, okay, that should be enough to destabilize that class. It doesn't. And now we're like, oh, wait a minute. The next thing they had to do was start working from the inside. Okay, cool. Let's start hiring guys here. Let's start bringing guys in. We already know Saban and Steele, probably two of the better defensive minds in the game, right? We saw what Steele did in 08. We saw what Steele did with Auburn against that LSU team that some people are trying to say is one of the greatest college football teams in recent memory. We saw what Steele did. We know what they're capable of. If I'm Nick Saban, I just want to destabilize that. I don't know if they're even going to be necessarily defensive coordinators. They might just go right to Alabama and be the same thing that they're doing now. Cold DCs or whatever, just to have those mindsets in the room, and then you help them bring up a guy. And the whole time, who's feeding them the information about what's probably going on in that program? Probably T-Rob. Because he was there. He saw the beginning workings of it. He told him everything you know. Hey, Still, we got to grab him. Strong, we got to grab him too. We have to, because those are the guys that we trying to bring in to help destabilize this. If those are the two guys who are the elder statesmen in that room, we do more harm to Miami by them coming over here than we do damage to us. Does that make sense?
Say it again.
If we destabilize and bring those two guys who are the elder statesmen in that locker room here from a defensive perspective, we do more harm to Miami than they do to them being here at Alabama in Tuscaloosa.
Right.
And so those are the things that we have to start looking at. But Mario, and I said this yesterday, Mario got to get out of his own way, because Mario is someone who very, very much cherishes and relishes experience. What have you done for me? And if it isn't what have you done for me, it better be what have you done for me lately. But even him, he had growing pains last year, learning that don't necessarily translate. What have you done for me lately don't necessarily translate. I.e. one Josh Gaddis, right? So it's going to be an uphill battle. I don't even know if we're going to have coordinators in place by the spring game. And I'm being very honest.
If we're going to have what?
Coordinators in place by the spring game.
Now, speaking of coordinators, switch gears a little bit. Jason Candle, Toledo head coach, been at Toledo for maybe 13, 12 years. Offensive coordinator, head coach at Toledo. Is number one on Miami's list. Ball is in his court. Notre Dame jumped in Sunday, showed some interest, slowed down. And you know how that works. If it keeps slowing down and ink doesn't hit pen to paper, might have to go in a different direction. DCs, we called out a bunch of names yesterday. Charlie Strong, and we talked about that in the villains last night with the villains. We had a little town hall meeting late last night. Listen, man, get the likes up. We have 50%. So we're trying to get it to 70%. We'll open the chat for everybody, so get the likes up. Yeah, we touched on that a little bit last night.
Man, Miami just beat Duke.
Beat the brakes off of them.
We'll get back to that in a second. I don't want to change topic.
Duke?
Go ahead. I just saw your tweet.
Oh, Duke 17-7. Huh? I was thinking like maybe Duke, maybe it wasn't Duke anymore. Yeah, beat them 81-59. Thumped them.
Hey, shout out to them boys, man.
But yeah, so the search for the OC, like I said, is Jason Campbell. Ball is in his court. Got a call yesterday from some people we have at Toledo, because we know a few kids at Toledo. And the sentiment was like, hey, if coach leave, man, I don't think the kids will care that much. Somebody said Duke stink. They not. They 17-7.
Basically, what the street's trying to say is addition by subtraction. So
they were like, go to Toledo page. So y'all get a chance, go to Toledo Instagram page, and you will see the day that the coach, maybe 3 levels down, the day the coach got his extension, and just go read the replies and what fans had to say about Coach. Coach has been there a while, done a great job. I think they won the MAC twice. The fan base seemed to think that they should have won the MAC more than twice. They have the most talent in the MAC, highest GPA, or highest graduate level in the MAC. They feel he's underachieving, but I think that comes when you raise the bar. I think you got to keep raising the bar. Somebody said that, bro. You'll be better off staying 8-8 than going 10-3 or 10-4. Now you start doing that, people looking for 11-1. Now you start doing that, people looking for a national championship. So go check that. Go to Toledo's Instagram and go check out the day. It's the same picture. You see everybody has him holding the trophy. Go read that post. Go read some of the comments on there. See what some of the fans had to say about him.
Sure, it's the same thing. And I hate to title it this because it's happened other places, but just for recency bias, I'll call it this. It's the Mike Norvell effect, right? So now Mike Norvell can't not win 10 games next year, especially all them people we got coming back. He don't got that. He doesn't have that leverage to not win 10 games. Anything less than 10 games after the season that they just had, after 3 straight years of going under 500, is going to be seen as a failure. And they bringing everybody back. So Their thought process now immediately, not even 2 years removed from going the same record Miami had last year, I already see it on the media, and the media is the biggest push for a lot of these absolutely outrageous narratives. Now they can't do anything less than 10 wins and an appearance in the ACC championship. We don't got a division, so they can be playing Clemson in the ACC championship, right? They got to play Clemson tough, sack the heck out of their quarterback, and then be good enough to go back and do it again. And you were just under 500 2 seasons ago.
Right. It's almost like, I hope Florida State, it's almost like you got to set the foundation, right? And I'm sure that's what Norvell was doing when they had those under 500 seasons, and be ready to win and ready to sustain winning. Mario right now, man, like my man Tuan says, people think he's laying a foundation and he's still mixing concrete. he's still getting ready to lay a foundation. And I think he's going at a pace of a guy who knows he's going to be here for a long time. if you're part of the transition process, man, yeah, that sucks. You know what I'm saying? That sucks. But I think he's going at a pace at a guy who feels like he'll be here for a while. Rich, what's going
And
on,
make sure
man?
y'all spam. Y'all make sure y'all spam happy birthday to Rich, man. Rich in here right now, man. Hit that happy birthday.
Yo. Thank you.
Yeah, hit the like button, man. 70% likes, and we'll open up the comment section for everybody. Right now, only the villains are in here. Only the football villains are in here.
If we get 7% likes, man, we're gonna send a stripper to Rich house, man. Let's get it.
Let's go.
Rich, we
What's
had
up?
a conversation. We had a conversation yesterday, man. All of us, and we were talking about: is it personal? Is it not personal? Is he trying to? And then he comes, and now we're hearing that he's possibly after Charlie Strong. I heard he was gone, but I don't know how true that is. Or it could be a ploy. Could be a ploy to try to get DC defensive coordinator for Miami. Charlie Strong try to get promoted. You know what I'm saying? But I heard he was gone. So Saban comes in here and takes Charlie Strong the day after he took Steele, the year after he took T. Rob. What's your thoughts on that, Rich?
I mean, me personally, I think it's a game of keep away. I mean, there's two sides of this coin. Number one is just what you guys were talking about. You know, Mario's taking the sweet and precious time. Nobody really knows why. In terms of finding an offensive coordinator, now you got to find offensive and a defensive coordinator, and that is what that is. But I do think that Saban realizes something that a lot of other folks don't realize, and what he realizes is that you win getting into the playoffs or winning a natty goes through South Florida. Doesn't mean that any Florida team got to be good. It don't mean that any Florida team got to be in the playoffs. It means you got to win the recruiting battle. And the way that you win the recruiting battle is you make sure that those three programs in Florida has instability. So when you see Mario in the recruiting class that he got, some of those guys we went head to head with Alabama for. And I guarantee you there's other guys that we got that Alabama would love to have on their roster. You got to even out the playing field somehow. So this is one way they could do it. We're better right now when it comes to NIL. We're also we did a darn good job when it came to recruiting, and I think a lot of SEC teams, guys who are very knowledgeable about playing chess, not checkers, like a Nick Saban, they understand what they have to do in order to make sure that whatever rise that we're going to have, that they slow that rise down a little bit by taking shots. So that's what I see. T. Rob was last year, and we could argue all we want, but did T. Rob really improve that secondary for Alabama? It's a no. So why do you take T. Rob?
Keep away, like I
Saban's
said.
right. Saban's been doing it for a long time. I mean, I'm pretty sure he kind of knew what he was getting when he got T. Rob. Now you take Steele. Now we're hearing speculation about Charlie Strong. So it kind of is what it is.
Odd. Or it could be Charlie Strong agent putting out a filler, saying, "Man, listen, y'all bring another DC in here, I'm out of here." Charlie, come on, man, chill out, man. Chill out, Charlie.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he still has the range and still wants to be a head coach. I know he's had a rough go at it. And yeah, you might be right. It could be a feeler just to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like these NIL kids do, you know what I'm saying? Putting these feelers out via these agents trying to see if they can just kind of add some smoke to the fire. But at the same time, like I said, man, like a lot of this feels like keep away. We already knew T-Rob was an elite recruiter. We already understood, Charlie Strong and Kevin Steele were two, like I said, great defensive minds. So they don't necessarily. Well, we don't know. We don't know. Like, there's a lot of kids on that. There was a lot of kids on last year's Miami team that would normally not. They wouldn't play for someone like Charlie Strong or Kevin Steele, if that makes sense. We did the best we could with what we had. It is what it is. Now there's absolutely guys on that campus that would be normally the type of people we would see in a Charlie Strong or Kevin Steele defense. Starting with a guy like Wes was saying, a Najee Kelly, a Kam Kinchens. And so now I think it's interesting that as soon as we start getting those bodies and you start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, you realize, oh, damn, the tunnel got another 300 yards that we still got to go. So we'll see. I think he'll get it right. I think Mario's going to take his time. We on his clock. He's not on ours. So we'll see.
The Dolphins, shout out to Kareem Armstrong with the 199, say, how do I get a membership? The link is down. The link is down. The link ain't never down. YouTube make it. Okay, listen, this is what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna put it I'll put it in the I'll put it in the description. It's usually in the description of all the videos. It's at the top of the Twitter. It's at the top of the Instagram. Bam, there it is. It should be in the description. He said the link down. Let me click this link. Let me link it down. You need the link is down. But yeah, it's at the top of the Twitter, it's at the top of the Instagram, it's at the top of all the social media pages. Sorry you had to pay $1.99 and ask that question, bro. I'm sure there's a way you could have got to me. I don't know. But if you in here commenting, that means you remember, right? No. Now I'm confused. So anybody
Well, I
can
think it doesn't work like that. I don't think it works like that for. Yeah, I think anybody could pay for super chat.
Oh. Okay, so anybody could pay for super chat.
Mm-hmm.
So I
That's
see.
funny.
I see it right here in the chat where it says member only mode. It has a join button next to it.
That's what I thought. I thought when we're in the member only mode, right there where you try to comment at, it says join. That's what I always thought, because I always thought that was cool. I got KB in the back, man. I'll bring KB in here. KB, what's going on, bro?
What's good, fellas?
What's going on, man? KB, we had a powwow yesterday, man, talking about this very thing, bro. And the day we hearing Charlie Strong, he either got his agent out here telling fibs, or Charlie Strong might be headed to Alabama. What you think about that, KB?
It don't bother me. I'm not saying anybody needs to go, but it's hard to miss what you didn't have, and we didn't see anything that they did come to fruition as far as their capabilities of what we've seen in the past. So I ain't tripping. Like I was interested in seeing what those guys were capable of doing, but I didn't see anything really promising last year. So it is what it is. I don't like it that Mario has to go back and this is something else he got to go back and I guess fix or patch up now or whatever. But aside of that, it's whatever. Good luck.
Yeah, go ahead. You finished? What about
that was it.
What about recruiting? Like, dog, it bothers us on so many levels. You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact Charlie Strong was point in getting Papo. Raul Aguero, the linebacker out of Georgia. I'm gonna text him right now. I'm gonna text him and be like, "Hey, bro, you good?" That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
like
that's
these
kinda-
coaches that are getting
that's
taken,
kinda-
instrumental in getting Bane, and you feel me?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Some people are like, and yes, I do understand. SEC loves to recycle their coaches. That is 100% true. Yes, I get it. However, I don't care how many coaches you have in the SEC. If you go into the playoffs, it begins and ends with making sure that you can get the lion's share of kids out of South Florida. Period. If you're a great recruiter, if you have ties to South Florida, anybody's going to want you on their staff, especially if you're in the SEC and you're in close proximity and you know what it is down here.
And then not only that, because those guys get recycled, they also got ties in SEC country. So a guy like Kevin Steele absolutely is an asset on that team.
If that's the
because
way,
he's gonna lock down the
if that's
coaching
the way
guys
we
in.
feel, if that's the way we.
Go ahead, Maddie.
Kyle.
Nah, Kyle was talking.
Oh, my
What
bad.
happened to
Yeah,
Kyle?
go ahead, Kyle.
Kyle be having a problem. Go ahead, Maddie.
Oh no, go. Yeah.
Go ahead, Kyle.
What happened to you, dog?
No, go ahead,
You got a
bro.
delay or something?
Yeah, I
think
think
Kyle
so,
having-
and that's why I'm cutting off. That's why I'm jumping on.
I think he
Yeah,
having
okay.
difficulties over there.
Yeah, he got a delay. But nah, yeah, Charlie Strong is in SEC country. That's someone he's known to recruit and work. So once again, like it's easy to kind of think, addition by subtraction, but these are guys who are seasoned veterans in the range. So in the range of that portion of the country. So we don't know if it's going to be detrimental yet, but we'll see.
I mean, but let's be honest, dog. Let's be honest, Maddie. We just brought in the top recruiting class, and they just and now we missing the damn defensive coordinator and linebacker coach to recruit a lot of these kids.
That's what I'm saying. It could be very detrimental. Like, and I'm very nervous about that because I don't want these guys to show. Or we hire somebody that they don't maybe necessarily vibe with. I know we talked in the past about some of the guys who have left or who are still on campus, and their thoughts and opinions about those two guys. Maybe some generational gaps and some things that those guys aren't seeing. But these guys eat, sleep, and drink football. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the type of minds that you don't want to lose. Between those two and Ed Reed, I'm almost certain that there's going to be a presence felt that is missing when the time comes.
Right.
So, like I said, there's a whole lot of coaching experience that just walked out that door.
I hear
If Charlie
people
Strong
saying,
does presumably leave.
I hear people saying bring Ed Reed back, right? And Ed Reed added us on Twitter last night and was like, "Hey man, y'all, who gonna be the next DC? Y'all ain't put me on the list. I had to go back and erase the list and start the list over again." After what y'all
Here's my
just saw
thing with
Ed Reed do at Bethune, right? After what you just saw, right? Do you think Ed Reed's ready to be a defensive coordinator?
Absolutely. He's one of the greatest defensive minds we ever seen. The problem that I said, and I said this before, is Mario is very adamant about doing your dues, and then at the same time, you have to be concerned if he just left for essentially a demotion. If you think about it, yeah, he gets to run his own program, but
right,
you have to then be worried about, is his foot going to be halfway out the door? if another head coaching opportunity comes up. If Miami has number one defense in America and Ed Reed's the defensive coordinator, he's going to be the hottest name in the coaching search. A, because of who he is, and B, because he's shown that he's been able to do it at a level, right? And at that point, you don't want to sit there and worry about like, if I hire this guy when the first opportunity comes, because we heard him say, "You cut me, I bleed orange and green." Well, for about 2 weeks, you let burgundy and gold or whatever the hell the colors is, right? And so, if that opportunity comes again and the business is there and you see it on the same page, then Mario's gonna have to consistently be worrying about if next offseason I'm gonna have to be doing this again. And that's the point that we're trying to make, is that stability is important because we keep getting it rattled.
Well, I'll say this in regards to Ed Reed. If Ed Reed wants to come back, even if you got to make him co-offensive coordinator and have him on the field doing something, I think it's so. I see your point, Mehdi. I see where you're saying that he already left to run a ship somewhere else. But then you got to ask yourself, why did he leave? I don't think it was his intention to really leave Miami. Miami, just like Miami's a dream school for Mario, a dream scenario, dream job. Miami's also a dream job for a lot of those alumni who also poured blood, sweat, and tears on that field. The tricky part has always been getting in those doors and being, I guess, taken seriously when it comes to being a real coach. So Ed Reed's been here already for 3 years. He's shown in this offseason that somebody would hire him as a head coach. So coming back as an OC, especially with, and yes, was he emotional? Yes, he was. But I tell you what, let's not talk about the emotional part. Let's think about this for a second. You have a guy who will not compromise when it comes to standards. He ain't gonna compromise. If you're doing something that's not right, he's not gonna compromise with you. And I think we need.
Dion's just kissing Lil Wayne.
I think we need that. I think that's part of laying that foundation or bringing that fabric of the real you back. Like, you can't have people who are going to make excuses for you. And I think that's what Ed Reed is all about. So that's my plug for anybody who makes decisions at Miami if they're watching Footballville, to at least have Ed Reed be a candidate to, or at least get him back down to the U in some way, shape, or form. So, but hey.
Well, y'all four know why he left. I mean, y'all four know how we have those conversations. We talked about it with the villains. So yeah, that's kind of difficult, bro. That's kind of like that's kind of difficult to see him, Mario, touching that right now. I think it'll fix a lot of things when it comes to the fans. I think it'll flip the whole narrative on what we're talking about.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
Yeah, they take it from a negative to a positive. I know it'll do it. The damn show be putting lipstick on a pig. It'll be that. KV.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, Street. That ain't Mario's MO. He's not a lipstick on a pig type of guy. Because the number one rule of coaching is you don't hire nobody you're not wanting to fire. And how do you tell arguably one of the greatest safeties, All-American, to ever touch the field at Green Tree for the University of Miami that, hey, I gotta let you go? As a Kane alumni, right? And that's where we gotta start taking the emotion out of it and the fandom out of it and start looking at it from the perspective of, I'm trying to build a winning program here. I've built winning programs consistently here in the city as well as elsewhere, right? I know what that blueprint looks like, and yeah, there is a part of Mario that definitely got to get past his own self, right? And maybe his trust issues and calculated. I thought we learned about that today. Risk management, stuff like that, where you take calculated risks, hoping to present that have the opportunity to have huge detriments, but also could produce great results. So at some point, like I said, yeah, the idea sounds great. Like, hey, this is, and the fans gonna love that shit. And they're gonna be all on all these other platforms, like, yeah, Ed Reed coming home. And then Ed Reed defense don't operate in the vision that he has it. And the next thing you know, the fans call for Ed Reed. We know in a heartbeat, they'll turn on somebody like that, alumni or not. They do not care. When Mark Rick would not fire his son, it was only a matter of time. It's like, we're gonna get rid of Mark Rick then.
KB, what you think?
Well,
how you feel about Ed Reed? How you feel about Ed Reed returning
about
back
Ed,
to?
I'll bring him on. Man, I'll bring Ed Reed on in a heartbeat, bro. You take the fandom out of it, but you think about the mind that you're bringing back, and you ask what was Ed Reed's impact while he was here, and you saw it. Who's everybody's favorite player? Kam Kinchens. Who the hell he was hanging out with? I mean, do we really need to ask that question? So we saw the impact from a minimal standpoint. Ed Reed didn't have a whole lot of influence on his team, but the little thing that he touched turned into goal. You know what I'm saying? So yes, of course you bring that back. Now, do you bring that as a DC? No, you got to work your way up to that. You got to earn that part. You know what I'm saying? That's too big of a gamble to get a first time DC, no matter how much of a genius we know Ed Reed may be. But till you bring him back, of course, in some kind of capacity. We're talking about putting lipstick on a pig. Mario is the pig. I mean, I don't mean that in a derogatory. I really don't mean that in a derogatory way as far as like Mario as the person, but he's the issue, or he's creating the issue, or allowing the issue to be created. Why is he making guys not feel comfortable or be happy enough to be here? You know what I'm saying? That's a part of his job as well. So he is the pig. So it's not about, oh, this is gonna make this look good. It's no, bro. You gotta come to terms with what you got going on.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying, with the rest of your staff. So yeah, I'm all aboard with bringing Ed back.
I know that was gonna be my next question, man. At what point do we start looking at Mario like, hey, bro, what's going on?
We talked about that last night. We had an extremely long Discord last night. Shout out to the villains. I appreciate y'all, boys.
What time y'all got at? 5 o'clock?
Man, 5 o'clock? They were still going at 5 o'clock, dog. I had just got home at 5 a.m. And so I had to put all my stuff up and all that stuff. So that's the only reason I got off. I drove all the way from what? I think I got on Discord in Jacksonville. I was in Lauderdale by the time I got off. The boys were still going. But it was a lot of good stuff.
Explain to people what you talk about. So if you're new in here, he's talking about the villains, the football villains, the member. If you want to become a member, hit the join button. Every now and then we get together in the Discord and we meet up on IOD because the villains don't have his own house yet. And we get together and we talk, kind of like a space. Just the villains in there.
Yeah.
And the boys went all night last night, man. All night long. I woke up 3 o'clock. They still was in there talking about.
It was good. It was really good because it was good information being passed around in there. You know what I'm saying? Streeter started it off or what have you. But even as Streeter dipped out, we kept it going when it came to, questions, rumors, what we think, what we feel. And it's some good information that was being dropped in there, right? And that's another reason y'all really should get in, because some things you can't always just come on here and just talk. But we can get into a private section, man, and y'all gonna hear some good stuff. And you never know who's gonna slide in that Discord. You just never know for real. But we kind of talked about that as far as things that Mario does, and if he's making his coaches comfortable, if he's listening to anybody and those type of things. And man, Twan had a really good point. We'll talk about it later, but he had a really good theory on some of the ways things were being handled out here or whatever. And it sounded good. I don't know if it's true, but it sounded real good. But we talked about that as far as, Mario and how he's, I don't want to say getting along with the staff, how he's using his staff or maybe not using his staff. And I think it's a real issue, and it's something that needs to be addressed. And I spoke on, we said that, like, how are we going to present that question to Mario as far as how does he evaluate himself and what he's doing? And I think that's a question that really needs to be answered.
You're right, though.
Yeah. And the crazy part is, I mentioned this to Street the other day. When we say that, we're not saying that because, we're like, oh, we want Mario gone, we want Mario fired. No, we're saying it because Mario's a hometown guy. So we actually want Mario to be around as long as possible, and we want him to win. We want him to win big here.
Mm-hmm.
But the outside looking in, as a head coach, you're also a CEO, and you got to learn how to deal with different personalities. You got to learn how to deal with other alphas. You have to learn how to. Most of the time, especially when you're in that C-level seat, you get the reason you get the millions is because of the soft skills you have, not the blocking and tackling. So you got to improve that every single year. You got to evaluate yourself. You got to evaluate your staff. You have to learn how to team build more. Of course, you have 85 young men as well that are also trying to team build with their teammates. So you always got to be working on culture. When you got over 100 guys who are going out there for a specific purpose, which is, if you're here at Miami, to go to the playoffs and win a national championship.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So Miami's on a defensive coordinator search. We already talked about Jason Candle, how the ball is in his corner. Notre Dame jumped in to kind of pump the brakes on what we're doing. Notre Dame is probably closer to a place where he would like to be in that area over there. He's at Toledo, right? Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Notre Dame jumped in to kind of pump the brakes, and as long as we don't see Penn hit paper, because the ball is in his court. That was Miami's number.
Can I say something, Street?
Go ahead.
Just while we on that OC thing, somebody put the thing in the group me about Byron Leftwich reaching out to Notre Dame, and I'm like, okay, well, if the ball is in Candle's court and we don't end up with Candle, now we know that Byron is interested in being an OC at the college level. I think that'll be a nice enough pivot, personally.
Why would Byron come back to college?
He's not getting.
I don't think he ever was in college.
OC job. No, he's not getting an OC job in the league. Not that fast. We don't get. They just do not recycle our coaches. So if you're thinking about, okay, what do I want to do? Yeah, right.
That's
you know
crazy,
what I'm saying? That's a long conversation that we know of, right? And if you think about it, this is what I want to do. I want to call plays, and I can go here. This is a formula, right? Medi says it all the time. Like, I can go to Miami, and if I can do the job at Miami, I can make it back to the league faster. I can probably get a head coaching job in the league. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to, yeah, the league is great. Like Coach Hayes say, it's a lot less work with a lot more, things coming your way in a positive manner. But at the same time, dang, dog, do I want to sit here and toil as a quarterbacks coach only? Some other position coach, or like I pointed out last night in the Discord, Shannon Sharpton was talking about Eric Bieniemy has been interviewed 15 times for a head coaching position.
Wow.
Has not gotten the job. He named 4 or 5 coaches that have gotten head coaches jobs that have never called plays a day in their life. But everybody gives the excuse about Bieniemy not calling plays and being under Andy Reid. So does Byron want to sit there and go through that?
What'd you say?
Go ahead,
Eddie?
And I was gonna say, to include our homie up there in Buffalo, man. Like, he didn't call plays; he was just a QB coach. No one had an issue with that. You know what I'm saying? Ken Dorsey. But no, I was gonna.
What's the problem? They don't like looking like hip hop at the press conferences. What's the problem? They don't want to let the press conference with their heads turned backwards. What's the problem?
That's the easy answer. Absolutely not. Like, No, we talk about the fraternity, right? The fraternity has networking in it, but also they want people to have a particular image. Straight up. Or they want you to be the whipping boy and just kind of like a Lovey
Texas
Smith. I
job.
keep wondering, how does Lovey Smith
Mhm.
yeah, like how does Lovey Smith keep getting these opportunities? Like, because Lovey Smith is obviously very deep in whatever um fraternity we're talking about. And two, he must have connections and plugs everywhere where people just like his image. Cause it's been a very long time since he's been even remotely successful anywhere he's been. But he keeps getting opportunities. But he's also the number one
He's
dude they
the
think about when they ready to fire somebody.
What y'all think about that
he's
comment
the
down there?
he's the new Hugh Jackson.
What
That's
y'all
what
think
we're
about that
talking about
comment
right
down
there. You saying Leftwich got to prove he can call plays without Brady at QB. Well, like
Talk to me,
goddamn,
KB.
where does the bar
Breathe,
where does the
KB,
bar
breathe. Breathe, KB, breathe. Breathe first.
go?
Breathe. Now talk to 305.
Bro,
Wait,
where does the bar go? How do we keep on moving the bar, right? Because we're saying the enemy got to prove he can call plays without Andy Reid. Now we're saying Leftwich got to prove he can call plays without the freaking quarterback. Like, when does the bar just stay still? And Shannon Sharp ran off 5 or 6 guys that have never called plays. Street talks about your boy Joe Brady all the time when everybody brings up Brady. He talks about Joe Brady all the time not calling plays. This man is in the NFL, bro. Just like that. Off of one good year,
How about
right?
this one? How about this one? The former Arizona quarterback, former Arizona head coach, Arizona Cardinals, went straight from college. Kingsbury went straight from college to being a head coach in the NFL. And we saw what happened with that. I mean, he was a 500 at best coach, right? But he actually got the opportunity. You got a lot of guys who are right.
Let's follow Hotline career. Let's watch Hotline career. We're gonna follow it like a documentary.
That's a good one, Street.
At this point, at this time, he's recruiting wide receivers. He's really good at recruiting wide receivers. Let's see where he at in 3 years.
That's a good one.
And 305 Kane, we're not directing at you personally, but we understand what you're saying. But that's the problem that's the narrative that they're gonna go with in the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, he's connected to Tom Brady. What? How come nobody ever said that when Brady was in his prime? Real quick, Steve. When Brady was in his prime, man, Josh McDaniels got offered 2 head coaching jobs, one which he walked off on. And they still went back to offering this man coaching jobs, dog. Exactly. How does that happen, bro?
Hey, KB. I'm gonna put a timeout real quick. Hey, shout out to Terry Roberts' dad, man. His dad's in the chat, man. We just got his son, the Iowa corner, man. Shout out to him. If you want to highlight that.
Where's his dad?
He ready to get back to it, man. Yeah, that's what he said. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Unless you just
appreciate you, Terry.
An elite troll.
Appreciate you, bro.
I'm pretty sure that's him. Hey, thank you for bringing your son down here, man. Or allowing your son to come down here. Looking forward to him.
Well, Terry
Roberts, who said Alabama 3 times, man? Terry Smooth in the chat. Someone said Alabama 3 times in the mirror.
Terry Roberts' dad showed up at a good time, man. At a perfect time.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Central Arkansas, 6'11", I said, hey, yo. I want to battle. I want to battle. I said, hey, yo. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Coach Hayes in the building off in this joint. Rich, what's up with you, baby?
What's going on, man?
Street, what's up with you, baby? You on mute, Street. My bad. You was signaling, dog. My bad. You was practicing silent count.
That's how they talk in jail. That's how the sign language they talk in jail. Hey, listen. I'm glad.
Hold on. Who my dog right here? Who my dog? I feel like I'm on Hollywood Squares. Who my dog right up underneath me, man?
You know that's the man with no face,
That's
KB.
That's KB.
That's the other Kyle.
That's the namesake, baby. What's up?
What's good with your head?
Man, I'm on this cane juice. Hey, these canes got coach on the cane juice on a Monday, dog.
We're gonna get this thing popping right, man. We're gonna get you fired up right now, man. 305 say Brian Leftwich got to prove he can call plays without Tom Brady at quarterback.
Foolishness, man. Matter of fact, let me get right cheek, left cheek, do it all to the beat. Man, let me tell y'all something. I'm so tired of hearing that foolishness, dog. You know what? Shout out to my man Shad1419 in the building. He made an analogy. I was talking about the whole Joe Brady thing. And he was talking about you've heard the whole adage. There you go, Shad right there. Talking about the whole thing about who the other man ice colder. Dog, y'all miss me with that foolishness, man. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of hearing it. We always got to prove ourselves. We always got to do this. When these other cats
After
come
proving
in,
ourselves.
unproven.
After proving ourselves.
After proving yourself. Which guess what? Just think about that statement alone. Most coaches prove themselves with ball players. That's how they get the next job. That's how they get the next job. By having ball players, dog. And you're going to say, I got to prove myself by not having them.
Oh, that's a great one, dog. I just caught on what you were saying. That's perfect. They say we gotta prove he can coach.
He got
the best wide receivers.
Nick Saban got to prove he got to go back to Kent State and win that championship to prove that he really the GOAT.
No. Right. Wait. I forgot his name. What's the Patriots head coach name? What his name is?
Bill Belichick.
He proved he can win without Brady. Hold up. He did prove he can't win without Brady, and we still gonna call him one of the greatest coaches ever. Because again,
thank you.
Prove that he can win. He didn't win with Brady. He could lose, and he's still gonna go down as a GOAT because he's been in 10 Super Bowls.
That's what I'm saying. He did prove he can't win.
And Byron won with an out of prime Brady, but he got to prove he can coach.
Right.
And a dude that walked up on you in the middle of the season.
What am I missing? Was it like it was more than just that Super Bowl that Byron did, right? They had success before that, right?
Yeah, they just Winston was a turnover machine. He had success before that.
Right.
Not only that, but down in Tampa Bay was some of Brady's statistically some of his best football he's ever played.
We can't get Leftwich credit for that.
Yeah, I don't care.
Only Josh McDaniels get credit.
I don't care. I heard y'all boys earlier.
Rich. It's weird, dog. It is weird.
None of that. Y'all talking about Brian Eric Bieniemy been on 15 doggone interviews. You talking about all this other stuff. We got coaches out here with neck braces on because he riding around with his side chick that fell off the motorcycle. We got dudes swiping credit cards of strippers' butts. He get another big time job. We got all this evidence out here. And the man can't get a job because what? He trashed a bar or something and when he was in Colorado as a college student.
Right.
He ain't beating, not that I know of, he ain't beating his wife, is he? Well, I mean, what else do he have on his record?
305, we love you, man. We love you, man. We ain't picking on you tonight, dog.
If I ain't love you, I wouldn't slap you like this. You know how your mama told you, it's going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. I'm finna whoop you.
I'm finna whoop you. Brian Callahan. Y'all know who Brian Callahan is?
Nah, he probably coach on All American or something.
Brian Callahan. Brian Callahan is Cincinnati Bengals offensive coordinator. Brian Callahan has been, let's see, the offensive assistant, Detroit Lions quarterbacks coach, Oakland Raiders quarterback coach. He's been the Bengals offensive coordinator since 2019. Guess what Brian Callahan headed next?
Where?
Las Vegas Raiders.
he's on a fast track to be a head coach. Watch.
I got a better one.
Watch.
You ready? I got a better one, Street. And villains. Doug Peterson. 2005 to 08 started his coaching career in high school. The next year, he was a Philadelphia Eagles offensive quality control coach. From 2009 to 10, in 2 years, he becomes the quarterback coach for the Philadelphia Eagles, 11 and 12. Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator, 13-15. And then the head coach for the Eagles, 16-20.
You can't even write that script.
Come on. This man went from high school as a coach, dog. As a coach to the organization in 2 years. Well, man, y'all cancel Christmas with that foolishness y'all talking, man.
Right.
Give these boys a chance, man. Yeah, dog.
And
that's even worse.
Yeah.
God.
And that's the thing. It's about the opportunity. These coaches are just not getting the opportunity. And then you do have a guy like, I remember Hugh Jackson was that guy where he would go to different teams. Whenever somebody would get fired, he'd be the interim coach or something like that. And now he's at HBCU. It looked like Lovie Smith is now playing that role where he's that one black dude who always seems to always have a job. And it's typically after somebody else done stunk up the place. They let him coach the remaining 7 games, or in a rebuild year, he basically goes to lose. So that way the team could get better draft picks. It's like,
man, Lovie Smith picker, he the trash man, bro. And I don't mean that derogatory. He get all the trash jobs, dog.
That's it.
He get the trash. That's what I was saying about Dion we get the crap jobs, bro. We get the crap.
So that this brings credibility to what Arian Foster was saying on Twitter the other day, talking about people getting scripts.
That was hilarious, dog. Y'all saw DVD say when he got the script that he had to guard Megatron as a rookie. That was hilarious. So listen, so now Miami looking for a defensive coordinator, and we're hearing that Anthony Capinelli, man, is the guy. His name came up last year. His name coming up again this year, and it's really hot. I think right now he emerges as the number 1 guy for the Dolphins. Anthony Capinelli, Hayes, this gonna make you cry.
I already know.
Don Bosco Prep, defensive coordinator, 2007, 2009. Don Bosco Prep, offensive coordinator, 2010, 2011. 2012, he was Rutgers defense assistant. The next year, he was Rutgers tight ends coach. The next year, he was Rutgers wide receiver coach. The next year, he was in Boston College defensive back coach. Next year, he was Hayes. 1 year. What is he doing in 1 year? What is he just not leaving the facility? He washing everybody's car. He getting everybody lunch. And what is he doing in 1 year? He just keeps jumping. And then we got somebody saying Byron Leftwich has to prove he could win a Super Bowl without a quarterback.
Dog, that's the fast track. If you want to be on the fast track, that's what you do. You go because now they say you have experience in all these places. Just like when I brought up, I did in Studio One, brought up Leonard Hankerson, right? He moved around. He did high school. He did college. He moved up. Now he's with the San Fran. But then guess what? Guess what everybody say? Well, he got to learn more. These dudes don't, bro. Rutgers.
That man did everything for Rutgers.
Here's the thing. but you was at Rutgers as the tight ends coach. Like, think about it. Rutgers defensive assistant. Then you, man. Anyway, dog, let me go on the drink, bro. Come on, bro.
It's like you just volunteering for positions when people leave. You're like, I'll
Right.
go ahead and do that.
But that's the fast track,
What did
guys.
Shad do?
That's the fast track.
What did Shad just?
Huh?
Go ahead, KP.
What did Shad just say? That resume is trash. If I have to judge you by your resume and that's what I see, that resume is trash.
But hold up, KB. He goes to Boston College. He's the co-defensive coordinator, defensive backs coach. The next year he goes to Michigan. 1 year everywhere, dog. Next year he goes to Michigan. He's the linebacker coach, and boom, he ends up at the Dolphins. Probably the same dude that hired him at Rutgers is at the Dolphins.
But listen to what Hayes said though. Listen to what Hayes said. He said that's the fast track. And if you think about corporate America does the same thing. Like if you are if you either get in your undergrad, especially if you get in your grad, you get a bunch of big companies like Amazon and places like that. They'll try to come after you, poach you, and then they'll put you on like a 5-year plan where 1 year you working in this, you sweeping the floor. The next year you sweeping the floor for $100,000 though. Not like the other people who sweeping floor for like $12. You sweeping the floor. Then the next year they got you doing something else. You shuffling paperwork. Then the third year they got you hiring and firing people. Then the fourth year and this is called the fast track. After that 5-year period, now you can become that. In the world of football, it's like becoming an offensive coordinator, right? So now you could become that VP of a company making $2, $3, $4, $500,000 a year. And that's the fast track.
What do y'all mean by fast track? I'm having an
I'm explaining it. I'll explain it right now, Streeter. Everybody loves Jeremy Pruitt, right? And I'm not knocking him as a coach, but this is the fast track. He was a high school coach at Hoover, not even the head coach. He was the defensive back coach at Hoover and defensive coordinator. This is the fast track to Rich's point. What does he do? He gets the director of player development job at Alabama in 07, 09. Why? Because it's hard to justify bringing a high school coach in as a position coach right away, right? If it don't pan out, oh, what is he doing? Well, guess what? We put him in there for a year. He's the director of player development from 07 to 09. Now he's the defensive back coach from 10 to 12. Well, who coaches the DBs at Alabama?
Good old Nick.
All at once. Nick Saban. So now, once he gets the stamp of approval, he goes from the defensive back coach to the defensive coordinator at Florida State. So from 07 to 13, which is a 6-year period, probably about 5-year period, like to Rich's point. Now he's the defensive coordinator. Then he leaves there for a year and goes to Georgia, 14, 15 as the defensive coordinator. Comes back to Alabama as a defensive coordinator, right? And then he's the head coach at Tennessee. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
But who's fast tracking them though? Who's moving them?
Come on, man.
They get vouched for,
bro. The third eye.
They get vouched for.
The third eye.
The third eye. The Illuminati.
Come on, dog. You know how that. And I'm gonna say this, dog. I appreciate.
But wait, slow up, Hayes. Because if I don't understand, I know people in the comment section don't understand. Listen to me. When you say fast track, you're saying that somebody's pulling strings to get him to where he's going, or you're saying that he's getting lucky. What are y'all saying?
Somebody's pulling strings.
So here's what happens: a guy like Nick Saban sees something in him, right? Whatever that may be. And he's the next to move on. It's no different than business. The guy that moves up in a company that's super fast, whether he's tied to somebody's name, whatever causes that to happen, that's what happens. And that's what
Gaddis was on the. They said Gaddis was on the fast track.
Definitely on the fast track. Definitely on the fast track. I'm gonna leave why off screen. I'll talk in the villain Discord. I'm the only one in the Discord on mine. So
call it the my cord. Man, crazy, man.
But I'm just saying, these guys get on that, right? You look at cats like Pete Golden. I keep going about that. People still don't know Pete Golden was a defensive coordinator for Alabama.
I know,
People
dog.
can't tell you where Pete Golden came from. How you go from University of Texas San Antonio Roadrunners to doggone the defensive coordinator at Alabama. And now where is he now? Ole Miss. He's going to forever have a job, right?
Right.
Fast track.
Listen. The only way you can control something like that, man, if you have people in power, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then Dion gets in power, right? It's like we don't pay attention to power. Like it's like we don't respect power. Like
True.
we don't respect people having the freedom to do things. The only reason it's been done like that because people in power, you know what I'm saying, don't look like us.
Bro, Pete Golden, Delta State, GA, Tusculum. Most people don't even know what that is. As a DC. So he's fast track. Pete Golden, Delta State, a GA, 2006. 2007, defensive coordinator at Tusculum in 1 year. Right? So peep this. He played at Delta State from 02 to 05. 2006, a GA. 2 years removed from college, he's already a defensive a coordinator at a Division II school for 2 years. Goes back to Delta State for 2 years as the DC. What is he at this point? About 26, 27,
Right.
somewhere in there. Now he goes to Southern Louisiana as a DC for 2 years. Southern Miss, now he's moving up, right? 2 years as a DB coach. 2 years as a D coordinator at UTSA. And now you're the defensive coordinator at Alabama. But you talking about striking gold. And he did that for 4 years. Now he the DC at Ole Miss. So I'm gonna just say this. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Any coaches with tans? Any coaches with tans ever have fast track you can think of?
Let me see. We know Willie T. Let's see Willie T. He the only one I know of.
Oh, Willie T got fast track?
I don't know. I'm finna see. I know.
What
Willie
about-
T fast track, or that was just right time, right
What about
place for Willie?
Mario? I mean, not Mario, but what about what's his name? Manny. Was Manny Diaz on a fast track?
He ain't got no tan.
Nah, Willie T ain't a fast track. That boy been coaching since 99. Most of these dudes started in 06, 07. And
What about
Willie T
Manny
started
Diaz,
out of
though?
college. Nah, he been around.
Yeah, Manny been around. Manny had to do his struggles. Manny just right time, right place. Got up under Rick.
Yes.
Rick was a good guy. Rick left, said, "Hey, give my boy the job." Right place, right time.
I mean, he moved relatively fast, I have to say. 98, 99 was a GA. Did another GA, linebacker. He did GA for 2 years, linebacker 2 years at NC State.
Ooh.
Was a safety coach, special team for 2 years, and then Middle Tennessee as a DC in 06. He got a little push. He ain't get fast track, but he got a little bump in the game.
Who y'all talking about?
Here's an interesting one.
Manny Diaz.
Because that's kind of the clout that you're looking for when you're a head coach and you want to like make your stamp. Like when they say you got a coaching tree. So we saw what Manny was doing when he brought his boys with him, Banda and Blake. You could even make the comparison to like Mario and Ponce, right? Do you see that as a vital thing for other coaches to do, especially head coaches, to have 2 or 3 guys that you yourself put on the fast track?
I think you have to be successful before you can do that. Like Manny can't just jump out there and have his guys and try to fast it. Like Manny, you ain't. I think you got to be successful before you start trying to do that. And that's probably, like, now that you pointed out, that's probably what he messed up.
Thank you. And that's exactly where I was getting at.
He don't know nobody else. He didn't know anybody else. That's who was gonna come with him. Like, that's who he knew. He kind of grew up with those guys, right, through the coaching career. Like, he grew up. Those guys followed him from Middle Tennessee to Texas to those different jobs. So Mario Cristobal did the same thing when he got a job at FIU. When he left Miami, the majority of those guys that's still around with him now, D-Train, Dennis Smith, Juan Navarro, Jeff Popovich, all of those guys were at Miami and went to FIU with him. You think them guys he coached with at Miami was going to go to FIU? Nah, you take the underling.
But that's the difference. The only difference is though the only difference is the way he did his right is because, like you said, Coach, he went to FIU and did it. If Manny would did it at Temple and worked his way backwards, that'd have been a different story. But you can't right to Miami with that bullshit. This wasn't the program for that.
He had nobody. I don't think he know nobody else. Like when I hate to say it like that. I mean, like guys that you trust and so forth. I get where you're coming from. You totally make sense, but now I'm gonna tell you who seemed to
be in favor? Coach Brown. Coach Brown, the assistant head coach of the Rams. I personally talked to him. I interviewed him one time and I hit him up on Instagram. We talk sometimes. He didn't go fast, but he was 1 year everywhere. He stayed 3 years with the Canes. He ended up in South Carolina, and then boom, he was at the Rams running back. See, he seems to be in favor.
Thomas Brown.
But he started in 2011 though. But he was 1 year everywhere. But he's an impressive dude. He's an impressive dude, dog.
Yeah, he's extremely impactful.
And he's nobody pushover. He's nobody Oreo. He ain't none of that.
Who is this?
Thomas Brown, the running back coach that coached Mark Walton, Joe Yearby, and those guys. The black guy that came with Mark Richt.
Mm-hmm. And he does have Rick to speak for him.
I'll tell you about Willie Taggart. Willie Taggart, who he has behind him is the Harbaughs. Remember, he played for Jack Harbaugh, which is Jim and John Harbaugh's daddy at Western Kentucky. See, that's his backing. A lot of people don't realize that. That's his backing is Willie is the Harbaughs. So,
yeah, me and Thomas during COVID, me and Thomas Brown became real good friends, man. We talked about everything from Farrakhan to football. When they was doing all that letting the black coaches talk and coaches NFL trying to understand the black position, man. He said he got up there and he let the old Rams genius have it. He said he told him like it is. What's the genius everybody said? What's the Rams head coach name?
Sean McVay.
The young coach. Yeah, McVay.
He said, yeah, boy, they gave me a mic, boy, and I gave it to him.
That's good. And he been a coordinator since? No.
He's the assistant head coach.
Yeah, that's a tag. Guess what? If Sean McVay fall out tomorrow, that don't mean nothing. All you doing is doing the corn talk. Hey, Darren,
he getting that job.
Why they say heads or tails?
No, he been assistant head coach for 3 years, right? Like, where does he go from there, bro? Like you can't just. What do you just keep him there?
Yes.
If the coach moves on, they probably do a coaching search and bring in a new coach. They're not going to keep him as that assistant head coach. I'm not saying that's the way it should be at all, but we know that's the way the game goes.
Let me ask you this: he's the assistant head coach. I see it labeled assistant head coach. They just did that. So 2022, he was the tight end coach, assistant head coach. Now in 2023, his title is only assistant head coach. So he don't have another job. He doesn't coach a position.
Those waters are murky.
Mm-hmm. What is it that you do?
You the coffee boy now. Not to belittle him, but I'm just saying, if you're the assistant head coach, you don't coach a position. What are you doing during practice, dog?
I don't know. I think they're grooming him to be something, though. I think he's one of them guys, man.
I hope so. We speaking on Hayes ain't trying to be derogatory. We just speaking on the way that they perceive things and the way they do things. We definitely hope that he's being groomed. You know what I'm saying? He needs to be treated fairly.
Yeah.
But
they're trying to make him a GM.
The only way if McVay stepped down, if he pulls a Bruce Arians, he stepped down and before he announced his step down and say, look, man, I'm gonna step down. Y'all need to give him the job. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? But if he just all of a sudden walks away or gets fired for some scandal, man, I don't know how much that assistant head coach job is going to mean. You know what I'm saying, for Brown? I really don't, and it shouldn't be that way. I should already know that. Oh, he should be next in line, if not here somewhere else. But I don't know exactly what that's going to mean for him. He might not either. He might totally hate what I'm saying, and I could be right. You know what I'm saying? But I could be wrong. I will hope to be wrong. But that's just the way the game that they playing, man. It's crap.
I might be wrong, but I think he is next in line.
So here's my question. Marcus Freeman. Somebody say I'm hating. Marcus Freeman. Everybody knows he was on that team, right? Notre Dame came in as a defensive coordinator and linebackers coach. So why didn't the assistant head coach get the job when my man stepped down?
Where did he go? Where did he get?
No, what I'm saying, Marcus Freeman was not labeled as the assistant head coach. He was just the defensive coordinator, linebackers coach. But based on that logic, why didn't the assistant head coach get the job since he's supposed to be the assistant head coach, whoever on the previous roster, whoever that may be? You understand where I'm going from? Like where I'm going with this? A lot of this stuff, these are tags, guys. And somebody say I'm hating. No, I'm trying to give it to you from a coach's perspective. Don't get caught up in these titles and tags. Don't get caught up in this pass game coordinator, run game coordinator. Don't get caught up in this stuff. These are ways people get paid, and I'm not knocking that. Go get your check. Go get your bag, as you want to call it. But I'm saying when you add these titles to the layman or to the boosters and to the board of trustees, oh, man, that's another set of responsibilities you have. That's how you get guys more money. That's how you justify paying them more money. I'm going to add more responsibility.
Let's put it this way. If Mario had to have an assistant head coach, I wonder who it would be. Whoever that would be, do y'all think that they would be favored to be the head coach of Mario step down? Like, who in our minds do you think is going to be? Huh?
It's
right.
Joe,
and do you think that Joe's going to be a hot, like, people are going to be, well, we need to go ahead and promote Joe. No, especially if Joe's no longer coaching the D line, if he's no longer doing that and he's the assistant head coach, I think if Mario will get fired, he's gonna be the first name mentioned. I don't think so. I'm just going by what we normally see.
Right. This is what you were talking about earlier. Former Tampa Bay Bucks OC Byron Leftwich is expected in South Bend as soon as tomorrow to interview with Marcus Freeman for Notre Dame open OC position. Leftwich reportedly proactively reached out to Freeman about the position following Tommy Reed's departure for Alabama. So he really is. We were laughing at 305, but he really is finna have to go prove he can win without Tom Brady.
Of course. I don't know why we lost. We know that. And I'm gonna say this, man. I appreciate everybody, dog, that be like, Coach Hayes for this. Man, I say this, maybe it's the Canes who's talking, but I say this respectfully, dog. I thank y'all for that. But I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. That job hit me a certain way when y'all be saying it, dog, because your boy been in the game since 2000. Huh? And damn, dog. I ain't no slouch, boy. I give it to you. I actually know you to death. But what I'm saying, and I don't say that being arrogant, I'm saying that with being confident. But we don't get the opportunities, dog. Bro, I'm gonna tell you something funny. I had this quarterback. Talk about opportunities. He's at Georgia. We go to Georgia on a visit. You know, they have a guy that take you around, right? Mm-hmm. Cool. His name was Joe as well. It just happened to be Joe. That was the summer before. Yeah, we go to Michigan. Guess who picked me up from the airport? The same damn dude that was at Georgia. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Oh, these dudes get so many opportunities. So many opportunities. And they don't. Here's something funny. Do you know, I've said this before, every guy that I've worked with of a different complexion besides James Coley has had an opportunity to coach college football. And none of them are coaching college football right now, except James Coley.
Say that again.
Every brother from the other complexion that I've ever worked with in high school has had an opportunity to coach college football, except James Coley, which he's Spanish, he's Cuban. is no longer coaching college football. They're doing other things in life because they're like, I don't want it. And I'm like to myself, I'm like, dang, bro, it's 2 lions here and 1 deer, and I'm starving. And you finally you got the deal, but you playing with it. I'm trying to eat, and you would decide, it's not really for me. And I'm over here like, damn, boy, I'm dying. My ribs are here showing. And they'll get those opportunities. They'll take those opportunities and be like, it's not for me. When your boy over here, he trying to get it. You don't get those opportunities.
Right.
And that's just what it is. I feel bad for cats like Brian Leftwich. I feel bad for Eric Bieniemy. Yeah, they're getting.
You feel bad? You feel bad for him for real?
I do feel bad. You want to know why? Because they put in just as much work, probably twice as much work as a lot of these cats, and they don't get the opportunity. And if they do get it, they get 1 opportunity. Bro, Steve Wilkes. Bro, if that dude ain't been kicked around the league, how do you go to the Cardinals for 1 year, dog, get fired? You bring in, I heard you talk about this earlier, Rick. You bring in Cliff Kingsbury with a what, 4-9 record, or 7-5 record, or whatever he was at Texas Tech.
At Texas Tech.
Texas Tech, dog, not Bama, not Tennessee, not a Power 5, like Power 5, if you know what I'm saying. A top 25, hell, a top 30 program.
Right.
And you call him the quarterback whisperer. And he go there and give you the same results. And now this
Same
dude
results.
telling you behind. Kellen Moore is hired in less than 24 hours to the Chargers. Kellen Moore, that was throwing the ball to Titus Young for Idaho, for Boise State, gets hired in less than 24 hours to the Chargers.
Right.
I want to see what that interview looked like.
Skip called it. Skip said it as soon as he get fired. He's like, watch, he's gonna end up in San Diego. Whoop, 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 just like that. Nobody have nothing for Byron, nobody have nothing for Bieniemy. I mean, and this is the part that, like what Coach Hayes said, he feel bad for him. I do too, because he's put in just as much work. They put in just as much work.
Not
Actually,
more.
they put in more. They put in more because they sat there and bled on the field for this league for I don't know how long. They put in a lot of work. And you tell me some pencil neck just gonna slide up in here, get this job, and that job? It's crazy, bro.
And here go the sad part. You talking about Eric Bieniemy? He's not a player's coach. Bro, he's not a player's coach.
Pencil neck.
Hold up, bro.
Trying not to cut.
Hold on. He's not a hold on. Eric Bieniemy not a player's coach. That's cool. But ain't he been to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
In how many years?
Yeah.
As a coordinator? And Andy Reid vouched for him. And Andy Reid said Eric Bieniemy didn't call that play. I called that play.
Hayes.
That ain't good enough.
Hayes. When is the last time you saw the coordinators from Super Bowl teams not get poached? When does that not happen, Hayes?
And here's the thing. I want to make 2 points. Number one, don't tell me, oh man, he's probably not a player's coach. The guys in the locker room, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then why the hell is he the offensive coordinator for Kansas City, right? They got one of the hottest offenses in the freaking league. And if he wasn't a player's coach or there was some type of disconnection there, he wouldn't be there. But obviously, he's good at his job. That's why they keep him there. That's the first thing. But second of all, let's think about the bigger picture. Let's think about the bigger picture of this. When we start talking about certain communities that, are impoverished or where they come from or their backgrounds and so on and so forth. When you don't allow folks like a Bieniemy to run his own ship, you don't get a feeder pattern of diverse candidates, because when you give the Kellen Moores a job, I'm sorry, but they don't hang around Eric Bieniemy's. They don't. Bro. So you can't have a feeder pattern.
Bro.
You can't. Them guys, Even if you
Right.
get one though, Rich, them guys got to keep their job. You see what Todd Bowles down there doing, and Bruce
Yeah.
Arians is pissed off about that. But Todd got to keep his job, so
Exactly.
he can't even pull a Mike Tomlin.
Nope.
He was forced to fire. Bro, I look at another dude. Let's look at Matt Rule. And this is not hate. These are opportunities. Oh, Lord, I got a big screen.
I was trying to figure out what that logo was up there.
Check this out. Matt Rule. Yeah, you see your boy done upgraded. How you upgrade? You can't, baby. But here's what I'm saying. Matt Rule was a head coach at Temple, 13-16, Baylor 17-19. His college record is 47-43, just barely over 500, 47-43 overall. And he gets an NFL head coach job at the Panthers. Somebody slap me, please.
Slap him. Shout out to my boy Richard Brooks. Richard Brooks was the one who created the Kane shirts that we had a couple years ago with Rooster, Derek King. Supposed to have been Pope, but then Pope was supposed to have been the first one to come out, but we all know what happened there. Richard Brooks drew this picture of Lamar Jackson, bro.
That's my man.
Yeah, man.
Elementary school with Richard Brooks. And he's been drawing like this since we was goddamn kids.
That's awesome, bro.
It is. So y'all go follow him on Instagram, man, because I don't know why his Instagram don't grow. I think he private and don't know it or some crazy shit. I don't know what's going on. Richard Brooks 2803. He got a whole hurricane collection he's trying to sell of hurricanes that he drew. Go check him out, man. This right here, this is crazy.
Awesome. Has he put that up and tagged? Has he tagged him on it?
Yeah, I think he did tag him. It's been up for like 12 hours.
I tag him every day.
Yep.
Commission me, boy. I'm finna draw a whole thing in your house. I would do every NFL player to pay for it. They can't. You wait on a fan to pay for it. One of these players will pay for their own portrait, dog.
Yeah, he get him.
That's
He
a
get him.
dope
He
nut.
did Bush. He get him. He get him. He get him. He presented to him a lot of time. I don't know if he ever had one pay for him, but I've seen him present one to Devin Bush. I've seen him present to a couple people.
Good.
But this right here, this is next level right here.
It is.
Off hatching in there, little pointillism. I see him, dog. Yeah, coach know about that art too, boy. Yeah, cross hatching, pointillism, stencil work, huh? Streeter, I'm well versed, cuz. You know what I'm saying?
I see you, dog.
I'm looking at the detail, like the reflection in his eyes. It's like he looking at Deshaun Watson check. I think I can see it reflecting.
How does Deshaun Watson get that, dog?
Oh man.
He played hardball. There was a big discussion about that. I forgot what I was watching, and they were talking about it was on the pivot. Boom. The Demar Smith interview. He was talking about, like, NBA contracts were not guaranteed in the CBA. What happened was the players started basically demanding they sign with guarantees. And he was talking about, this is why it's so important for Lamar to follow up and do exactly what Mahomes did. They said, whatchamacallit was first, the boy in Minnesota. He said, but the guys after him didn't follow up and do what they were supposed to do. He said, but then you saw Mahomes got his, which of course was a no-brainer. Like, you wasn't going to really haggle with that man. Deshaun got his. He was talking about how important it is for Lamar to get his, so these quarterbacks can continue to set this trend. So then it becomes a normal thing for these guys to get guaranteed contracts, or at least a certain amount of guaranteed contracts. So
that's what
Deshaun did what he was supposed to do. Yeah, but it's gonna start with them.
Yeah, but I'm saying, especially if you're a running back, I would never, ever. Don't give me no weekly check. You better give me a lump sum. I ain't toting nothing.
So you ain't toting nothing, dog?
Nope.
So I mean, it's wild how, and I don't know if the rules have anything to do with it, how we about to get our first NFL game with two black quarterbacks. Mahomes get in with the one drop rule. If Obama, if Obama was the first black president there, Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? One drop rule with Mahomes. But Mahomes dad so black. We don't care what color his mama is. Mahomes dad blacker than black.
Exactly.
Mahomes dad like, man, we ain't smoking on it, you know what I'm saying? Just watching my son throw that rock around like I taught him to throw. That boy blacker than black.
I'm on that cheap pack.
But listen, you get Mahomes and Hurts for the first time. And just a couple years ago, I was asking, will Lamar Jackson, a guy like that, ever make it to the Super Bowl? Mahomes isn't Lamar Jackson. He's more verse, right? But Hurts, he isn't Lamar Jackson either, if you ask me.
You got to give him some help, dog. I don't know help.
It's just that simple.
It's people already writing off Lamar Jackson.
I didn't mean wait, y'all slow down. I didn't mean necessarily Lamar Jackson. I meant just black quarterbacks, period. Because we saw Kaepernick show up in the Super Bowl and lose, right? Then Russell Wilson won in 2014. Before that, it was Doug Williams.
Right.
Well, the game has changed, though, Street, right? Like, I hate to say this. If you ain't athletic anymore, you starting to see it out of Jason Allen.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't move, bro, how do you run away from Aaron Donald, dog? Do you know that Dan Marino wouldn't have a chance against Aaron Donald? He'll be asleep right now.
True.
Like,
very true.
These guys they got to be able to extend the play. They don't have to be a 4-3 guy, but you can't be Dan Marino, dog. You got to be able to extend. You can't sit back there with 2 leg braces on throwing a ball anymore. Them days done. The Gilbert Brown.
I'm gonna disagree, Coach. I'm gonna disagree because they just changed I'm gonna disagree only because they would just change the rules. That's all. They would change the rules some kind of way.
What you mean? What you mean?
They would change the rules to protect the quarterbacks. Yeah, they would do something. They would do something. I don't know what it would be.
They already changed.
They might make it count 5 Mississippi.
Well, you
only do it again.
I add to the nipples. That's all.
Exactly. So they'll figure it out. They'll figure something out. If they couldn't get, go ahead, Street.
What is Tom Brady? I mean, we just watched Tom Brady.
And you
run
see him
college football. I mean, run the NFL football, right?
Yeah, but you see it changing now. You see how fast they getting to him?
So you're saying like the last 2 years.
Right. No, it was changing, but he's the last of the Mohicans of this, meaning they're not drafting Tom Brady's anymore, dog. Name a Tom Brady type player that they've drafted, spent not even major money on, because he wasn't a major money guy, but name a guy that has the immobility of a Tom Brady that's been drafted in the last 3-4 years, maybe.
How mobile is Justin Herbert? Is he mobile? Can he get out and run?
But Justin Herbert is not them. Justin Herbert can move out of the pocket.
Can he extend the play for a little bit? We ain't talking about running the option read. We're talking about extending the play to throw the ball. We ain't talking about him being a running threat, but to extend the play, a little mobile to get out, run down the line, and find an open guy.
And let's really analyze the difference, though. The difference right now is, and you're about to see this too, Dan Marino was in the league far past, I would say probably three years past his prime. I don't think you're going to see that anymore. Even if you are a guy like Herbert, if you're a guy like Burrow, you might be in the league 10, 12 years just like a running back. Because at some point, because the game is getting faster in the trenches, and we are playing the game where it's pass first, right? So you got to drop back in some way, shape, or form. I think that if you're mobile, you're going to have just as good of a career and just as much of an opportunity to win as opposed to you not being mobile. So that opens up the doors for a lot of different types of quarterbacks. You could be 6'1" and be a great quarterback if you're mobile. Back in Marino's days in the 80s, if you weren't prototypical 6'3", it was really, really hard to get drafted. And I do want to say this though. Even in that era, I gotta say, if Warren Moon was given the opportunity to go to the NFL first, I believe that Warren Moon would probably go down as in that era as probably the best drop back passing quarterback ever, in my opinion. Warren was amazing, but
He
was.
I digress.
That's fair. I'm just saying, like they talking about old Joe Burrow. Like somebody said, he Rodavius Hall said Burrow is mobile enough. That's what I mean,
Yeah,
bro. Dan Marino couldn't move, bro.
he can move.
Dog,
Bro.
I'll never forget the last year he played for Miami, and he ran that touchdown in. That was the most like painful shit I ever saw. Like it hurt me to watch him run and try to get that. I was like, yeah, I know that boy don't feel good.
He got that ball out his hand, though, boy. That's what I was thinking.
He did.
Yeah, I was thinking about the fact that Duper and Clayton can't get touched off the line no more. How fast would he get the ball out of his hand now?
Yeah.
That what I thought you was gonna say, Cal.
Oh no, I was just joking with Hayes though. But I'm with you, Street. Yeah. He as long as you can dissect the play like that, Dan and Peyton, they'd be fine. It's some of the other stiffs that probably wouldn't have made it.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
but I have to say, I still go back to that. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm still waiting for somebody to say in the past 4 years, name a Tom Brady. I'm sorry, name a Tom Brady or a Dan Marino type body style. Like name a guy that's just sit there and just deliver the rock.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, how long ago he retired?
Yeah, he
ago
came in the league 15 years ago, man.
When did he retire?
2 years ago.
Yeah.
And even Josh Allen. Think about Josh Allen.
Jared Goff. There's a couple of them dudes in the league now.
Think about Josh Allen, though.
That can't run at all.
Where they at?
Jared Goff ain't going nowhere.
I'm saying no. You're exactly right. He ain't going nowhere. He gonna be on the couch every Super Bowl Sunday watching with us.
Right.
Somebody said Mac Jones.
Mac Jones can move a little bit. We ain't saying he's. See, people. I want people to don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're Lamar. I'm saying can they move in the pocket, extend the play a little bit, not just sit back there. The read ain't there. To read there, throw the ball away. Dog, these dudes are Matthew Stafford. Come on, y'all stop it. Matthew Stafford can move around. Now, he may be a little older now, but Matthew Stafford can move around. Like, he ain't the fastest, but we're talking about the dude with concrete in his cleats.
When I used to watch Carson get trained, right? When I used to be at his trainings filming him, his quarterback coach, they used to basically say, listen, man, you need to be able to run for a first down on third down for 6 or 5 yards. No more of you not being there. The coaches want you. That's kind of how they was training him. Like, you need to at least be able to get out of here on third down for 5 yards every now and then. And that's how they was kind of training him.
I think it's just kind of been simple evolution, right? Those type of quarterbacks you're talking about, they start to grow up differently. And, like they playing 7-on-7s and, they see the game different. They're playing with different types of people. So you start to emulate that. Your game changes. Just like me being from Florida, if I go to New York and I start playing basketball with them, I got to start playing basketball a different type of way. Yeah, you think basketball and basketball, but it's not. And it's the same thing with them. They start being around different cultures. And those same kids grow up looking at Lamar Jackson, and they are wild by the way he runs. So they want to run a little bit too. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like the NFL has to, they have to accept those guys in. But if those guys were just adamant that we're not going to run and we're not going to throw, I think the game would probably still be the same because they make it so that we still need to maybe get these golden boys and have them succeed in our league. You don't want to have to give the opportunities to Lamar and all those type of things. That's my opinion. I could be totally wrong. But I think it's just kind of adjusting with the time.
So to your point, the evolution of the game, right? So what happens?
Yes.
We love our Hurricanes 20 years ago. Do you know we were still using primarily only 3 wide receivers? So the evolution of the game changes the player, meaning, well, if I take 2 out the backfield, max protection, that's 7 guys, and I take him and put him out there, and we specialize in 4 wide. Now it's 6-on-4 coming, and now people are blitzing. If we go empty or we're using these guys, remember the third down back? We used to draft a third down running back. That guy, Le'Veon Bell, now he's catching it. He can go out there and spread out and be number one. We just saw it in Michigan. The running back, Donovan Edwards, will go out there and line up at the X and run a vertical and outrun the DB. So I say all that to say, so the more guys you release from the protection, less guys you have to protect. So now guess what? It's only 5 guys blocking. Defenses know that. I'm going to bring 6. Who's responsible for the 6th guy? The quarterback, whether he does it with his arm or his feet. Like, that's just the evolution of the game. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the 3-point shot in basketball. Nobody thought about it until then. They drew a little arc around here. What we do with this? So let's start mastering that. And that's just the evolution of the game.
I love that breakdown, because you're absolutely right. That quarterback is not only responsible for whatever hot route he has, but he's responsible to protect his own behind. So if he can't get out of there in time or get that ball out of his hand, then he messed up. It's no longer you're going to have a running back stay in and block really good and all that. It's not like that no more. So even I remember Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence freshman year, he was not as mobile. And I think that's the year that I don't know if they played a mobile quarterback or what was the thought process. But Dabo was like, the very next year, Dabo basically had designed run plays the next year to make Trevor Lawrence like Deshaun Watson, because it was like you can't stay in the pocket. You have got to run. If you don't run, the offense doesn't run. And obviously, we saw what he did, and he ended up winning what he going to another national championship.
Damn, Maddie.
What made you say?
Maddie said the only person that comes to mind starts for the University of Miami. I guess he's talking about TVD. And you remember when TVD was coming in? Here's the funny thing. When TVD was coming in, I'll never forget somebody calling my show. Coach, he was on the 4x1 for his track team.
When?
Really?
I swear. Please chat. If you in the chat, please tell me if I'm lying. The fan base was like, oh, he could run. He was on the 4x1. He ran track in high school.
Was that TVD or Mallory?
No, TVD.
But TVD can run. He's not a runner. He can run. Like we saw him last year get to that sideline, and not last year, the year before last, and run like in a straight line. He can run. He's just not agile. He's just not. I think his problem is like what we saw this year. His brain ain't working fast enough to tell him, "Hey, boy, run, go." You know what I'm saying? Like the same thing Rich was just talking about with Trevor. Like, boy, go run. And I don't think his brain was working that fast this year. But he can. What coaches ask him for, he can do the bare minimum as far as extending plays. He can. It's not exciting, but he can do it. He's not a statue. It's just that when his brain is still, the rest of his body ain't gonna move. So,
shout out to Willie Boston, $20. Say, how about bring Randy Shannon back? Didn't Randy sue Miami or something?
Yeah, he's not coming back. And I'm not saying that because of what he did. I mean, because of his coaching acumen. Bro, there's nowhere in the world I come back here for somebody that tried me like that, regardless of whether you like what I did as a head coach or not. I'm not coming back here, dog.
Somebody that tries you like what?
Well, the way Miami tried him as a whole, nah, bro, I'm good. Nah, I'm straight.
What are you coaching over there now? Linebackers?
It don't matter. My pride, man, look here, dog. I'm not finna come back here. I was the head coach. I'm gonna come back here to go to a school that tried me. You fired me. Don't give me the resources.
You live in Tallahassee?
Yep. Making that trail of money, because when I retire, guess where I'm living? Wherever I want.
So you just gonna give up Tootsie's?
Guess what? I'll be at Tootsie's with a pocket full of money.
What they got up there? Tiger Tails 2?
The moon.
In Tallahassee?
The moon.
Bro, these dudes, y'all cut it out. These boys making million. They fly that thing in. Cut it out, man.
Yeah, after about 6 or 7 months. They got the moon, and what's the place that sell the chicken? That sell the chicken tenders? That's all they got.
The moon actually pretty nice, dog. It's not like it
Top
used to
flight.
Mhm. Oh, they also
Think about-
got FAMU homecoming. That's all you got up
Think
there.
about the trials and tribulations the moon had to go through. Though. Think about all the clowns that came through the moon.
be. That's not
Just
foolish.
crazy football players. Just Fam versus Florida State. Think about all of the lawsuits the moon probably done to see.
Odell said that's
Yeah,
foolish.
Guthrie's.
That's
You
not
hear them boys, Guthrie's. That's what you got. Go to the moon and go to Guthrie's. Wait for FAMU homecoming.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So you from Miami, Hayes. You went to Miami, New Orleans. You don't come back to be the DC.
Not if they try me like
You know
that.
that bygones, dog?
No. What I'm gonna come? Let's be honest. What I'm gonna come back for? You tell me why they gonna. Why, tell me. You come in there and everybody is, and that's the problem. Everybody says, "Oh, that's foolish pride." Those people are no longer around. Okay, these same people, these dudes are not from Miami. They don't understand my true love. These people work for the University of Miami. They're not alum.
Right.
So what? So because I'm an alum, nah. Some things you just let ride, bro. You just had to let that go.
Miami tried Mario. He came back for his mama.
What you mean they tried Mario?
They tried him. They fired him.
When?
Sent him on his way. He
When
came
they
in
fired
for
him?
a stint. He got in trouble, and then that's when he went on to Alabama. They kind of kept it under the rug.
You can't just put your hands on people, Street. That's how you get fired, man.
Okay, that ain't what we talking about though, KB. We talking about getting tried.
Oh, my bad.
Right? And
But they
coming
didn't
back.
try him. But they didn't try him.
They had
He
to
tried
fire
the
him.
system and lost.
No, he had a problem with your boy. Because
And
we don't know what it wasn't
and he
public.
lost.
We don't know what happened.
And he lost, meaning he lost, but he also wasn't the head coach and he didn't put in time. He was here for a month. This man, first of all, remember this. Randy Shander was not the first pick. He was already on staff. He wasn't their first pick.
He was not.
You overlooked him. Don't nobody want the job. All right, here I am. I'm an alum. I'll take the job for y'all, boy. Let's do it. Players want me. Y'all don't want me. No problem. I'll take it. He comes in and tries to right the ship with the Nevin Shapiro shit that's stuff going on. Right? Tries to right that ship. Nobody want to listen. Okay. Then Donna Shalala tells him, listen, keep our guys out the newspaper. Let's increase the graduation rate. Don't worry about winning right now. That was a lie. And they're going to fire the man because he's not winning, but yet you're not giving him any resources. And he ain't had a head coach job since. Now, whether he want one or not, I don't know. But I'm just saying he hasn't had another opportunity to be a head coach since. And you want me to come back here and now, nah, bro. Nah.
None of our head coaches went on to be head coaches.
What you mean?
Except Coco.
What you mean?
Anybody who left Miami the last couple years as our head coach never became head coach again other than Coco. Ooh, shit. Think about it.
Yeah, but they made some moves. Al Golden went to the league. Yeah, but Al Golden went to the league.
We just be hiring people, man.
No, but Al Golden went to the league. Mark Rick retired. Manny Diaz, he was what he was. So, I mean.
Joe Brady went to the league, man. Anybody go to the league. All I'm saying is, none of our head coaches, I don't know. They gave Randy a shot, fool. He did. He could have hit it out the park. You know what I'm saying? He could have. He had some hell of a recruiting classes. But maybe he wasn't ready. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? But he got a shot.
Oh, I agree with that. But what I'm saying is,
did he get a Mario shot? No, he didn't get a Mario play. He didn't get a Mark Rick play. No, he didn't get the big junk with the potato salad and got some poking beans and weenies and biscuit,
some hot dogs.
Kool-Aid. But he got a shot, right, Hayes? I mean,
I agree. No, he got a shot. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just talking about how they tried him in the whole process. Like I say, people can say what they want, and I understand that. But I just personally, and I understand my man said foolishness, foolishness pride, but that's not foolishness pride. I mean, bro,
You from Miami though, Hayes? What if it's I don't know? Mario Mama brought him back.
Streeter, can I say this? I get
I
that.
came back to Miami because of my mom. Because just family, period. I just felt like mom was getting old and was like, man, why would I be in North Carolina as my mom just get older? It took maybe 10 years though for me to start thinking that way.
But Streeter, you came for family. Ain't nobody care about. Like, I get that whole Miami vibe. I'm for the crib, and I'm for the crib too. But when I left city of Miami, ain't write me no proclamation because I dipped. Like nobody, like we get caught up with the crib piece, and I get it. I'm from Miami. I want Miami. But let's be honest.
You're from Kansas. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that's your home. I ain't saying go to the Rolex.
No,
I'm just telling them where you're from.
Yeah, but your home should love you as much as you love your home. That's what I'm saying.
It's true.
All I'm saying is,
I'm just saying that's home. That's where your family at. That's home. Screw the Tutu Al and none of that. I'm just saying that's where you're from.
Yeah, but T-Pain always said that. I'm from Tallahassee. It's in my name, Tallahassee Pain, and they be trying me, and I'm T-Pain. I'll put you on the map. He said he don't even go back to Tallahassee, dog.
Yeah, but I ain't talking about the people. I'm just talking about you. Like, I left Miami, and then I wanted to come back home. Family here, mama here, grandma here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about the other stuff.
But they got plenty of money, dog. You move your mama where you at. Like, what I'm saying, when it comes to that, I get where you're coming from. If she's ill, whatever, I understand. I don't know his family situation, like, how his mom, if she passed, whatever. I don't know that. But what I'm saying, these guys, they ain't playing. They ain't working with $30,000. Like, these dudes got money. Like, these dudes have money. So if my immediate family need to move to where I am, and a lot of these guys do move their mom with them to help take care of the kids, so forth and so. You notice you see a lot of these ball players, when they fly out, they always got their mama with them.
Yeah.
Because they the ones who help take care of the kids.
Facts.
Yeah, probably it's a different situation. You're right about that. It's a different. When you got money, it does change it. It does change it some. I just went to Atlanta for the weekend, man. It's better. It's better black people in Atlanta.
Better.
Better.
Wait. Better.
Better. It's better, greater black. It's a better vibe, bro. I didn't feel like. It felt like
making money, dog. They making money.
Mm-hmm. Right. Opportunity it's not perfect, but it's better.
Street. If you black in Miami, you got 1 of 5 jobs. I say this all the time. You tell me if I'm lying. Rich, KB, or Street. Tell me if I'm lying. I just need you to say yes or no. Do you know people who work for law enforcement, correctional police officer? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
You know somebody that's a teacher? Yes or no?
Yep.
Yes.
Do you know somebody who works for the county in some capacity? Bus driver, work at the courthouse, something like that? Yes or no?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Do you know somebody who work at one of the hospitals? Yes or no?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. How many people you know, Street, that have their own business that's thriving at a high level? Not, we ain't talking about we talking about a significant big time business.
What you mean big time?
You tell me. Whatever you want to put
Like,
on. I'm just saying.
That
Morgan
might be
and
unfair for Street, though.
commercial on TV.
No. It's
that may be unfair for Street, though. He know a lot of people, though, Coach.
No, but I'm not trying to prove my point. No, but what I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. But I guarantee that you know more people who are doing what? Those other jobs.
Yeah, by far.
And same thing, Rich.
Right.
How many people you in that business? I don't know if you're from Miami, but you in Orlando. But what I'm saying
I'm
is,
from Miami.
okay, I apologize, my brother. Zapase.
Not
All
bullying.
I'm saying is, I guarantee you know more people that do those type of jobs because there's no infrastructure in Miami.
That's true.
What do we
This
have
is
in
not
Miami?
the state of Florida in overall is a consumer state anyway.
Terrible.
Trucks come down here to drop shit off so that people could buy, and then they leave. I'm in the trucking industry, right? It's the worst place to get stuck to drop a load off because typically the loads coming out of here don't pay nothing. And it's because we're not a big manufacturing state. we're a huge consumer state.
Bro.
That boy said, don't forget the docks and the post office.
I was finna say that, bro. Don't forget about the boys at the port now.
Yep.
Right. So I was gonna say, so to your point, Rich, I got a homeboy that do trucking. Guess where his truck docks at?
Georgia.
Atlanta. He get on a plane and fly to Miami because he don't want a deadhead down here to burn up gas. So what he does is he gets on Frontier for $79, right?
Yep.
It's cheaper, $79 to fly from Atlanta to Miami, get picked up, stay there a week or so at the crib, fly back to Atlanta to get his truck, then to drive an empty truck down to Miami and try to find a load to get out of here.
For $1 a mile. Now check this out. It's some people who not only do they try to get like a small plot of land to park their truck in Georgia, but they also do it because insurance is higher for truck drivers in Florida. So get that. So not only are you can't pull no loads out of here. That's that. Unless it's loads going to California, and you know a certain manufacturer who just needs to get loads down to Florida, who can give you that round robin. It's just not. It's more cost effective if you have some type of small plot of land in Georgia and you keep your truck up there. You could always fly to Georgia, just like you mentioned.
Yeah. It's cheaper, dog.
Hey, you just depressed the shit out of me.
What you mean? About what?
Shit, that's the reality. Being done. That's the reality. Unless
there's no jobs.
You know?
I look at salaries and I'd be like, and again, you got teachers, like nobody's really out. And then most people who come here, they come based on work for other companies that is not based here. Like,
right.
You know, this like South Florida is a satellite system for. I know a young lady I went to school with. She works for an advertising company for the Southeastern District, which includes the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, so forth, Dominican, for a marketing company. But she's stationed in Miami, but she's not from it. She's actually from California. But people were born and raised. That's why when Ross be talking about the other side of the bridge, bro, we don't even have tourism, dog. We don't do nothing with tourism. There's no seafood industry. Bro, Burger King started in Miami. And I think the headquarters is still down there off the 136, what is it, the 112 or whatever it is, that little 5-story building.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, man, we're going to get ready to get up out of here. If y'all just getting in here, man, new DC, they haven't chosen DC yet, but front runner is Anthony Campanelli. Coach Hayes says resume is trash. We're hearing that it's possible Coach Steele leaves to Alabama. Coach Strong Alabama showing interest in Coach Strong also. Which could be, like I said, it's a DC missing. Coach Strong could be kind of like, you know what I'm saying, playing the game. Like, hey, I'm going to get up out of here, boy. If y'all bring another DC in here, it's either me or nothing. So that could be his agent pulling strings. But I heard he was gone. Sounded just like the Steele thing. So University of Miami sits with no OC, no DC. I think the offer is out there for Jason Candle out of Toledo. He's who Miami wanted at OC. Notre Dame jumped in it, but Byron Leftwich just jumped in it with Notre Dame. And we'll see how that unfolds. Jason Candle is the offensive coordinator, head coach at Toledo. He's supposed to be bringing him and your boy, KB.
Yes, sir.
That's all KB care about.
Who is this?
That his boy coming with Kevin Beard.
Oh, Beard. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, if Candle shows up, Beard should show up. The bearded one should show up also. But like I said, dog, these negotiations are at real time. So if y'all just get in here, man, Mario is under attack. Either y'all gonna get behind him. Miami and Mario is under attack, bro. It ain't no other way to put it. Y'all could have fooled me yesterday when you said, Steele and T-Rob, and then if Strong get up out of here,
That's
He
bad.
under attack, dog.
That's bad, dog.
Saving playing chess, baby. And I ain't mad at him. I'm not bad. Like I told man the other day, I take pride in it, baby. Keep on. I love it. Can't get everybody.
Nah, Hayes. But if he come out unscathed on the other side of this, Hayes, listen, boy, that's how diamonds are made, boy. They're attacking for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got something to protect.
It don't bother me at all.
You got something to protect, though.
Mm-hmm. Look, Street, when y'all was talking earlier, when I had to go out and come back in, and I wanted to add this to it, like, none of these guys that Saban collected won a championship last year or the year before that. My point for saying that is it's coordinators, assistants, it's guys out there. You do your homework and find them. It ain't no one collection of dudes that you need to win. Right. It's a million coaches out there. We right here on TV with one of them. It's coaches out there. You need to do your due diligence and do your job. I ain't sweating none of that, bro. I just need you to do your job, Mario.
I think Hayes looking at it like Ed Reed jump ship. Hayes looking at it like they're leaving, they're jumping ship. If they were happy, they would just sit still, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'll tell you what my concern is. It has nothing to do with that. That's life.
Okay.
Kevin Steele happens, right? Josh Gaddis happens. My concern is what's happening after it happens. Why you be doing that to me, dog?
Because you talking like you need to be on the screen by yourself, so talk. Don't get scared, light-skinned dude.
I ain't scared, dog. I'm saying, dog, what's happening is y'all looking at the surface level problem of the coaches leaving. I'm looking at the process after a coach leaves. If you knew Josh Gaddis was fired since November, it's February, dog. Kellen Moore got hired in 24 hours. You've had since November to interview, hire, talk, probe, vet, go see if his dog got all his teeth, whatever. And it's now, hold on, literally, today was the day we hired Josh Gaddis a year ago. And now we're walking in. We practiced in less than a month, March 4th, and we have nobody. Now we lost Kevin Steele. Cool, I get it. We may lose Charlie Strong. Cool, I get it. It's the nature of the beast. The problem is, how long will it take us to replace them? That's the problem. Here's why I say that. Because like I said a year ago, these shorties ain't getting fed right now. TVD decided to come back, and TVD has not learned anything new since November. Think about this. Think about what I'm telling you. TVD decides to come back, and where has his knowledge gained? Where has he gained any more knowledge by sitting down with the OC and saying, "All right, baby, this is where you made your mistake. Let's look at this. Let's look at that." Since November, nada, nothing. No. So now a new guy's gonna come in, which we still haven't hired. Hopefully before March, but let's just say it's in another week. Let's just say you hire him tomorrow. You have from the 7th until the 4th to teach TVD and the rest of these guys, because you can't go on the field with them, but at least to teach them the nuances, the install, let them know what you want. You got to build that rapport. This is the lateness. What I'm saying is when things happen, you got to be able to react. You can't get shot and be like, damn, I got to read the manual on how to stop the bleeding. Let me see what you're going to bleed out. You have to understand, boom, here, put pressure, apply pressure, boom, boom, boom. This is the problem I'm having. Not the fact that these guys left. That is the nature of the beast. But the fact that we are not replacing these guys in a timely manner to help feed these young men to be great. So then when they go out there in the spring and not throw one vertical football, come in August and get their teeth kicked down their throat, everybody's going to blame the players. You know what? The players, they suck. We got to purge. We done purged all the damn players. The people that don't nobody like ain't even here no damn more. So guess what? The people that don't like nobody ain't even here no more. Done purged them out. But unfortunately, all them players y'all don't seem to like that got picked up out the portal. Somebody likes them. Fine. Cool with that. But now, what is Tyler Van Dyke's advantage for coming back to the university? Let's be honest. Call a spade, bro. Who's working with him? You fired Josh Gad. I don't know if the redhead dude is still around. Nobody knows his name. This dude like a unicorn, talked about but never seen. Like, what is his name? Nobody knows this guy.
Punt's gone.
Coach Ponce done left. I guarantee Coach Ponce over there doing installs. So because guess what? When the guys go work out in the training facility right now, when you go watch a Coach Prime and say, yeah, the guys was in here doing 7-on-7. They sat down with the OC, Sean Lewis. He talked to Shador Sanders and said, listen, baby, when we run this high-low concept, you got to hit him on right there. No hitch step in this. It's catch and throw. He's giving him direction. He's giving him instruction. You don't think them coaches looking peeking? Why do you think they build facilities where the coaches can see the football field? Because guess what? I can't go out there and coach them, but I'm sitting there taking notes because I can look through the window. And then when you come back in my office, hey, remember on that third play right there? Where you kind of hitched in that step, you can't really do that. You got to go to hit it right now, pop. So it's a way of coaching without coaching. TVD is, guess what he's doing right now? He's still selling Life Wallet. He's not getting better, dog. And this is what I was afraid of last year. They're not getting better because there's nobody to get them better. I'm not mad at Kevin Steele. That literally just happened. But Josh Gaddis, the dude ain't been around since August. You got a camp. Since November. You got a camp going on. Your OC, no call, no show. You knew you're going to get rid of him. Get on the Rolodex, bro. Hey, man, listen, bud, you ready? Jason Kendall, you ready? You're not ready. But here's another problem. The offer has been extended to Jason Kendall. What are you waiting on? There's an issue there. I don't care what nobody say. You have to think 30 days to think about this? Like, what are we talking about? Mario called me today. Coach Hayes, I need you to come here. How much you charging? How much you paying? What? 400,000? Shit, you might as well go put the Instagram post out. I'm your boy there. Put it out right now. It don't take that long, bro. I'm just saying, I'm tired of our kids and our players. Shout out to Holson one, call them kid. Our players keep getting caught in the wash, dog, because of the lack of the process, dog, of not knowing. Nick Saban at Alabama has lost his offense and defensive coordinator, hired both of them in a week from us. How long does that take, dog? How long, bro? It was rumblings about Kevin Steele. They didn't rumble for 5-4. How long we been rumbling about Kendall Street? How long the rumblings been going on about Kendall this season? You muted, Street. Anybody? I don't care. Anybody answer.
It's been like a week. It's been like a week, right? Kendall ain't been there.
Yeah, I don't think it's been that. Yeah, it ain't been that long.
Since last year. Since last year, though. We've been after him since last year.
We struck out.
This season. Forget that. This cycle right now. How long is? Okay, but think about this. How many names we done been through from Nussmeier to Joe Brady to Kellen, the quarterback. What's his name, man? Dorsey to everybody. How long were the rumblings about Kevin Steele? When did you first hear about Kevin Steele going to Alabama Street?
That shit happened in a day. Felt like it.
I'm asking. When did you ever hear it?
It felt like I heard it that day. It felt like I heard it that day, or either that day it happened the next day.
Right.
I don't think we saw the Steele thing coming. Yeah, that was
point.
quick.
Not to Alabama.
It's working, dog. That's people working to establish and to reach a goal. This is my point. If you want something, you see it, go get it.
I don't know what's taking so long, bro.
I'm tired of it, dog. I'm hot.
I don't know.
I'm tired.
If it's the interview process, the interview process got us.
I think I can tell you what's taking so long, and I could be 100% wrong. The two things I keep on saying, and Coach ain't saying nothing, but Coach it's a scab that we just weren't ready to pick at tonight. Because most people, and I see what Coach saying, is most people ain't ready to hear that. But that's the kind of stuff we've been bringing up here. I know Coach Hayes is always going to go beyond the surface, so I know he's been bringing it up too. People just don't want to hear it until it hits them in the face, and it's just like we backtracking. You know what I'm saying? But the reason I think that it's taking so long is because the two things I keep saying. You cannot be the smartest man in the room, and you cannot be the only man in the room. And so I think that him being the only man in the room, it's going to take time to make that decision, as opposed to you could have been sitting around with your guys, be it Zoe Radakovich, be it Ed, and y'all could have been talking about this, prepared for this, or looking at things from Ed could have said, hey, man, I heard this and that going on. Whoop, whoop, whoop. You know what I'm saying? Because Mario, you got a lot on your plate. Zoe was out here recruiting. You know what I'm saying? Where's your round table, man? Where your nights at, bro? You King Arthur, where your nights at? And that's just my personal opinion on it, bro. You the only man in the room. That's why I take it so long.
And I know for a fact, listen, I know for a fact, cool off, light skinned dude. You just had the whole cool off. Put you in the back. We're gonna go in the back room, get some ice.
Yeah, I'll be back. I'm listening.
But I know for a fact it's people around him telling him exactly that. Don't think it ain't people around. I know for a fact there's people around him telling him, hey bro, listen, we gotta lighten this, can't do. Maybe there's a method to his madness. I don't know. But it seemed like college football seemed to see a weakness. And if a guy get pulled up out of here, some of them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Street, we're not going back to the underlying thing. I get guys leave. Why are we not hired an offensive coordinator, dog? Forget the fact that he just got fired on paper. We've been knew he was gone. Everybody's telling you he is not around. Since November, nobody has seen this guy, from players, coaches, mamas, daddies, parents, the community. I don't think nobody's seen him in Miami.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, why does this take? I get the Kevin Steele. And it's
he was looking, we should be looking, right? When we sent him to go be looking, we should have been looking.
But this ain't Camilla's house, dog. This ain't no damn community service. We ain't giving out soup. Bro, what are we talking about? I'm going to wait. And I'm tired of excuses, bro. Like 305, this ain't Bama, Coach Hayes. No, it's not. But we have lawyers. We have attorneys, just like they do, who write up these contracts. They have an agent. We have agents. We have bro, a contract is nothing new. This ain't the first time. We ain't just started school. This ain't Blue Mountain State. Like, I'm not understanding. I'm hot. I'm gone, dog. Yeah, I'll be back. Dog, get some cane juice. I'm
we
listening.
We out of here, man. Go get an Asian massage or something. Go get an Asian massage or something. Cool off.
Y'all open up the Discord for Hayes, man. He got it right. Open up the Discord.
Open it.
Y'all better.
We gonna jump in the Discord, man.
Y'all subscribe.
Y'all
How you
want
get
some more of this? Y'all better sign up. Y'all better sign up.
I see the link. So, Villains, we're gonna jump in the Discord, man. We're gonna jump in the Discord, man, Villains. All right, man. Let's get up out of here, man. Rich, go put some water on your face.
All right, y'all.
786-459-499. Villains, man, we're gonna jump in the Discord. If you want to become a member, hit the join button. It's in the description, and it's right there next to the logo where all the subscribers at. Yeah, we got 75.1. We wrapped it up, but then we went on again, though, man. But listen, man, we're hearing Anthony Campanelli is the lead name for the defense coordinator job, but he was last year at one point in time too. Candle is his job if you want to take it. Notre Dame jumped in it. Byron Left was looking at Notre Dame, so we're gonna see how that play out. Yeah, man. Mario got to get to moving with these hires. These people seem to be sending air strikes, air raids, and we're not reacting. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a villain, man, listen, we're gonna jump in the Discord. Hayes hot. KB didn't want to talk. Don Snaps and all on board. We're gonna jump in the Discord, man. If you want to become a member, it's just access to more information, faster information. Oh, and access to high-level videos. Those videos that you guys just saw. The one that started off with Marquise Williams, that stuff is in the member section for the football villains. So listen, man, don't put off tomorrow. Something you can do today. The rest of your life could be seconds away. Layla, Sydney, Daddy love you. I'm D and I'm out of here.